All right, we're
Susan,
live.
yeah, she's chimed in. Yeah, she's a new grandma. Her daughter had a little boy yesterday.
Oh, fantastic. Congratulations, Susan, and to your daughter and her family too.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
Yeah, we're all excited. That's awesome. She's
All right, let's see the new iPhone 17 on YouTube with a microphone. Let's see what we got here. Probably move that a little bit over because, all right. I'll make sure all the sound's working and everything looks good. Although the turkey seems to be in the way, so I might have to move that back a little bit. All right, I'll figure that out. That's looking good. Let's see. Now I got to see if I get in there. Check it, and then we're ready to go, right?
All right.
All I've been doing is dropping microphones all night. It's like, that's one thing I've noticed that's worse than the eyesight lately, the drops. It drops drive me crazy. Oh.
yeah.
As you know, it's just like, it's kind of just like you have to pay attention more, but it just seems like when you do those really fine things where you're just all of a sudden, it's just, everything's flying everywhere.
Mic drop takes a new perspective.
There you go.
There you go.
That's a good one. All right, so let's see YouTube. Here we go.
All right.
Let's see if my sound is actually working. It'll be so cool if it actually is. Let's go. Nope, that's the wrong one. There, right there. We're live. If this is pulled off, wild turkey. There we go. Let's see. Let's go. Nope, that's the wrong one. Oh my God, it's working. And I'm in the picture properly, and you guys are in the picture properly. Holy man. Just think about, Greg, you've been with us for so long, right? And think about how far we've come from sitting with nothing. Like at one point, there's a couple podcasts where me and John are sitting at this bar without the top, with just the little black top, and then right behind us, there's nothing on the wall. It's just a brick wall. It's so funny. Yeah. All right, so let me welcome everybody. All right, welcome everybody to our podcast. We monitor comments and we want to know what you're sipping on and where you're from.
Absolutely. And if you got any questions, please feel free to post them on Facebook and YouTube, and we'll try to get them in there and get them answered.
All right, I got that monitored. There we go.
I'd like to start this off by saying cheers and happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Oh, I do have to do cheers. Well,
wild turkey?
I know what I'm putting in mine right off the bat.
I'm putting
there you go. That's going in.
There
you go. Master Keep?
Yep, and it's one. Master Keep one. I like that Scotchy Bourbon Boy Crystal Glen you got there.
You know, some great friends of mine gave that to me.
Oh, man.
All right.
Man, the Crystal Glen Carrot tasting was just off the charts. I mean, that's that night, you know, you're talking, we tasted the Bardstown Bourbon Company, what is it? Oh my God, why am I having a problem? I want to say Chandelier. No, Cathedral.
Cathedral.
Not Chandelier. Yeah. Anyways, Cathedral. We tasted Jacob's Well, the first batch, 15-year. We tasted the 21-year Knob Creek, and then we also tasted, to kick it off, was the Parker Heritage 14, which is a malt whiskey, 14-year, aged in reconstructed heavy toasted cognac barrels. I mean, that's a lot to say, isn't it? Reconstructed heavy toasted.
It is. You know, Parker Beam was another dear friend of mine, and you know, he liked simplicity. He didn't really like to get it all wrapped up, all the long, you know, all these finishes and that. But true bourbon genius and great guys. Yeah.
All right.
All right. I just got to do one last thing here, I believe. Let's see. Okay. Am I? All right. Exit full screen. There we go. I got to get up the. I knew that wasn't ready yet. So
So if everybody'd like to know, I'm actually toasting and starting off the podcast with a little Wild Turkey Kentucky Spirit.
all right, so we're ready there. You're doing Wild Kentucky Spirit.
Yes.
All right.
Yep. I'm saving the 15 for when we break it down.
Well,
There you
actually, I didn't know you were doing this, but I'm actually enjoying a little 15-year-old courtesy of my son. So yeah,
It's so good, isn't it?
yeah. But you know my feelings about Russell's. So.
Yep. Yeah, we do.
All right. So let's just see. Okay. I'm gonna adjust. I think I can. I learned how to do this. Let's see.
You just learned how to do it?
Nope.
after 6 years.
Okay.
Our seventh season.
It's like me, Martin. I've been in this business 47 years, and people are impressed. You know so much, and no, I'm a slow learner. It took me 47 years to learn it all.
Hey, that's the same way with me and the fire extinguisher, fire safety business. 38 years last month that I've been doing it.
Congratulations.
And I'm still learning.
It's got to, man. Learn something new every day. That's great.
Absolutely. That's what my dad used to say. He said, son, if you learn something new every day, you're always progressing and you're always extending yourself.
Absolutely.
All right. There we go. I'm making sure. All right. So, and is this green? I just
realized the tiny shirt. I love it, man.
Yeah,
I love it.
There you
Got
go.
the turkey tracks on it.
Yeah, he does.
All right, that's working. Oh,
Of course, I'm using the Wild Turkey DSP.
DSP, yeah.
Yeah.
67.
Yeah,
Go
that's
well.
right. Yeah, and I picked this up that day when we met Jimmy and Jaretta.
Yeah.
yeah. Actually, this came as a, what would you say? It was a group. It came rolled up with a hat. Now I am wearing my. You can see, I've got my Jimmy Russell Wild Turkey hat on. I always look for hats with something on the back, and having Jimmy Russell's signature on the back is kind of cool, right?
Yeah, it is.
All right, so I think we're ready to go with starting everything. Welcome. Just a really good shout out to our sponsors. We've got Spirit of French Lick. We've got in French Lick, Indiana. We've got Middle West Spirits in Columbus, Ohio, and we've got Whiskey Thief Distilling Company in Frankfurt and their tasting room in the Kentucky Nulu area. Make sure you check them out. Great experiences all the way around, and great whiskey and bourbon. And then also Alan Bishop, if you have Ghosts, You Have Everything, fantastic podcast, and his One Piece at a Time Distilling Institute. All right. We are ready to go. What's going to happen is there's going to be, as you know, Gregg knows this by heart. There's going to be a brief ad that we don't hear where it's quiet, and then we'll start with our theme song. So
Yes.
Here we go.
Drinking bourbon, sipping on some Scotchy.
Yeah! Woo! All right. Welcome back to another podcast of the Scotchy Bourbon Boys. We've got Super Nash in the house.
Yeah, in the house.
And we also have very
A very special
guest, Gregg Snyder. If you listen to the podcast, you will know that he has been on frequently. Not as much lately, but we're working on it. But tonight he sets himself apart from our other guests, Alan Bishop and Randy Prass, who he was tied with for being on the podcast the most. And tonight he's one upping them.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gregg, you're the butt up tonight for the podcast.
All right.
So everybody,
Fair enough.
it's great to have you here, man.
It sure is.
Always a pleasure, guys. I tell you, it's I listen in as often as I can, and love what you do. And as I've always told you, love what you do for our industry and promoting it. So thank you, and it's an honor to be on.
Yeah,
Thank you. Thank you for being here and taking time out. I know it's a holiday weekend, right before Thanksgiving Day. And that brings us to what we're doing. This is our annual Thanksgiving special podcast that we always like to do.
Yeah, but the first time we've done it on the Tuesday before, so I had always done a Thursday morning podcast,
Yep.
but yes, that would be good for the audio recording, and then people can listen it down the line. But why wouldn't you pre-record a Thanksgiving podcast so that people, if they want to listen to it, they could actually listen to it on Thanksgiving or down the line? But this is
or watch it on YouTube.
Right, exactly. But they can, we're prepped for tonight. This is
Yep.
Thursday. We're just going to take the day off, so we won't be doing a live that night. But then we'll get you next week, next week Tuesday. But this podcast is started, and it's exciting because Gregg has such a wealth of knowledge of the industry. And I want to thank you, Gregg, because you basically took us from people just getting into bourbon, as a bourbon fan, not really knowing much about it. We're talking about what we didn't know. And then you kind of took us, between you and Alan and whatever, you took us under your wing, that we could, so to say. And I think that more applies to you, considering you worked for you've worked for two companies. One is a chicken and the other one was a turkey. I think you might be the only person on the planet that's done that, where the logo is
I've worked for a lot of different companies, but yeah, here as far as foul related, yeah, you're right.
Right, and you got nothing. I mean, but one of the things that to get into it, another aspect of why this makes sense, we like to always highlight on Thanksgiving the Wild Turkey brand, and that's great. But you're also an avid turkey hunter, and you also have cooked turkeys and prepared turkeys many different ways. So having you on tonight is kind of a cool, fun thing, when you think about it.
All right, so we're gonna do a food and pairing with great bourbon show tonight. Is that right?
Yeah.
Also, too, are you not part of the Wild Turkey Federation?
Yeah. Super. I'm a Diamond Life member, the National Wild Turkey Federation.
Yeah.
But also on my resume, I'm a member of the Kentucky Turkey Hunter Hall of Fame. So
Also, great acclimate.
turkey hunting's been always one of my passions, and for a long, long time, and conservation is a big part of that. So
those were a couple of great acclimates that I wanted to include too, because I knew that you were,
It's a passion of mine. I've loved it ever since I got involved and became a member of the National Wild Turkey Federation. Actually, the year before I started working at Wild Turkey Distillery, and you know, they've always had a nice sponsorship with the NWTF, National Wild Turkey Federation.
Mm-hmm.
And I was able to take that up, a couple notches higher and provide them some financial support and sponsorship. And the company benefited as well. Back then, the National Wild Turkey Federation was the fastest growing conservation, hunting conservation organization going. And, they're, the members of that organization were a lot like NASCAR fans, okay?
Yeah.
Very loyal to their driver or who they loved. And just like the NWTF, you supported their organization, they supported you. And so it really helped to promote wild turkey and grow their sales domestically. It was phenomenal.
If I'm not mistaken, you also are involved with getting kids and younger kids and all involved in turkey hunting too, right?
That was a big part of it, all along. I mean,
Yeah.
they had the Jake's program, which was the youth hunters and that.
Yes.
And so, all the chapters that I was members of, and then even just aside from that, we would get kids involved. Of course, wild turkey, we sponsored with money, but we didn't want the name recognition. Okay. You don't want to get the connection with the spirits industry and a youth organization.
Yes,
but
absolutely.
we worked kind of, off the side, silently promoting money to help the kids and promote the sport with the younger kids. But yeah, personally, that's one of my favorite things to do is take a young, a young kid, turkey hunting that's never experienced it. I mean, to sit there in the dark and the sun's starting to come up and you hear that turkey's first gobble. I mean, their eyes just get big as saucers and watching them watch the world come alive in the morning is just, it's a spectacular event that one I've cherished and enjoyed for many years. So
I thought so. That's amazing too. And like I say, it gives the kids a chance to experience something out of their normal realm of life and to where maybe they can carry it further in their life.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Really quick. What? I'm just trying to make the flashing stop. There we go. That started. What I do want to ask you is, I've never. So what's the difference compared to a commercial, or let's just say something, maybe a farm you pick your turkey up from, like we order from a specific farm. My wife is no antibiotics. The way it's raised and fed is everything, but it's not wild. So what's the difference in taste when you?
Huge difference. Huge.
Oh,
So
yes.
is it gamier?
It's gamey. It's got a little gaminess to it, but quite honestly, I mean, you can utilize as much of the wild turkey as there is to utilize once you skin it out and whatever. But truly, the only palatable piece of the wild turkey is the breast. I mean, the legs, the wings, the thighs. There's so many tendons in those parts of the wild turkey. It's really tough to get any quality meat. So if you're going to make a stew or a soup or something, you can boil that off. But basically, the breast is the primary piece of a wild turkey. Where a butterball or a store-bought turkey you get on Thanksgiving, you're going to get 99% of the food that's on
the meat you can eat
on the plate. Yeah.
Okay. Good question.
No. Yeah. Oh, thank you.
But it's like anything else, it's all in how you prepare it. I mean, a lot of people say, "Oh, it's too gamey. I don't like it." If it's fixed right, prepared right, it's awesome.
It sure is.
Yeah.
I have to agree wholeheartedly. It's all in the chef, and also too, and when you get wild game, it's a matter of how you're curing that deer and all that, or the wild turkey. You've got to do certain things to it and all that beforehand, and then once you prepare it, it's all in the chef's hand.
So there's no deep frying those wild turkeys.
Oh, absolutely. You
Okay.
can, I mean, you can make turkey nuggets. You take the breast. That's one of the best ways to eat it. Is you
Yes.
take the breast meat and you cut it up into nuggets and batter it and deep fry it. You know, turkey nuggets are awesome.
Okay.
I've actually seen you do that and prepare it like that
Well,
over the years.
I've had your, what was it? Your
And with
pheasant
a
nuggets?
little hot sauce or something too, along with
Well,
it.
I've done it with that turkey, and I've also done that with pheasant breast as well. But
Well,
Yes,
yeah, turkey. I mean,
I've
one of my
tasted the
favorite
pheasant.
ways. Yeah, you had the pheasant, I believe.
It was delicious.
But you know, you take, well, other than fried, you know, for years I do like a teriyaki turkey. I'd cut it up in nuggets and do kebabs. You know, with you know, soaked in
Skewers.
teriyaki sauce, homemade teriyaki sauce. But I'd use mushrooms soaked in teriyaki sauce. You know, chunks of pineapple. You know,
Oh, wow.
sweet peppers, onions, and just did kebabs. And for years, that's the way I loved it. More recently, though, I've made a piccata out of it. I mean, if you've ever had wild turkey piccata, it is to die for. It is so good.
I believe I believe Al has done that for you, right?
Al did that for me. Yeah, I've done it with another friend of mine, actually down in Florida. But I had some home here, and I stopped Al one night, and I prepped the I took the breast and I pounded it down about an 1/8 inch thick, maybe more than that, but. And then I sliced it up a little bit and I soaked it in butter overnight. And I took it to Al, and he made the most amazing fried turkey piccata that you'd ever eat. I mean, it just melted in your mouth.
A shout out to Amore. We got to give a shout out to Amore.
That's right.
We're talking about
Al Papsadero and Amore.
Yep. Cheers. Now, does he take Thanksgiving off, or does he do a Thanksgiving dinner?
Actually, they're hosting Thanksgiving dinner. And they're doing Christmas Eve dinner as long as New Year's Eve dinner as well. So
you are so freaking lucky. You have your choice of whatever. I mean, Thanksgiving. Like, I think this year I could actually, if I would have known it, I could have convinced Roxy to go down, because all the kids at the last minute, nobody's coming. We just have our granddaughter, and I'm telling you, she's cooking for 20, and there's going to be me, her, and a 9-year-old girl. I really, and I'm not. I don't like to stuff myself on Thanksgiving. I like to kind of just whatever. I'm not. I've stuffed myself enough over the years that now I prefer to eat the proper amount to feel good. You know what I mean? So I'm not. I don't fall asleep at 9 o'clock and then can't wake up the next day. So, but that would have been the year. I should tell her that, because that would be awesome to go there. I mean, but you can just, if it's not happening for you on any of those days, you're right there, aren't you?
I am blessed. Yes, sir. I am blessed. So.
Yeah. So anyways, that's.
So, I got a question on thinking about it, though, Ty. I mean, again, I love your shirt, love the turkey tracks on that. So that track, is that a gobbler, you know, a long beard, or is that a hen turkey track?
Oh my God, you're going to ask me that. I'm gonna go with it's a long beard.
Yeah, and why is that?
Because why would Wild Turkey put out a hen track on their shirt? I mean, I just don't think they would do that. I'm going to go.
That's a good thing, but you're true. I mean, when I go scouting, you know, I usually scout property before the season comes in, and that's one of the things I look for is turkey tracks. And a male turkey, a gobbler, the middle toe is longer than the outer toes. A hen turkey, the toes are all the same length. So that's how you know there's gobblers around or hens around.
Okay.
That's what I was going to say, is because of the longer middle toe. Yeah. But I didn't know for sure until you just said it.
Yep. And you can find you can also tell about the droppings, the turkey droppings that are on the ground as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So
another good question.
Dropping. Yeah. Well, you know, people say, "Oh, you don't know shit." Yeah, I know shit.
Yep.
Turkey, a male turkey dropping, has a J hook on the end of it, where a female, the hands are just little globs, just little round globs. So,
okay.
Yeah. And little lesson there.
And the female tend to leave a lot because they all hang out. They're
constantly feeding. I mean,
yeah, they're there's going to be,
Monster how they go to
I mean,
receive.
there's, when it comes
From this
to the
point on,
mail,
From this point on, when people tell me that I don't know shit, I'm gonna tell them, you're wrong, I do. I was educated.
There you go.
tracking makes all the difference. There's no doubt.
Yep.
All right, so that brings us to the whiskey part of this.
Yes.
Let's talk a little bit about your time at Wild Turkey, because that you worked at Seagram's initially, and then Brown and Foreman became that's there. But how did you get from Brown and Foreman running their cooperage to Wild Turkey? And then specifically, let's talk about what you were doing at Wild Turkey.
So yeah, I was at Brown Foreman for 12 years, I guess, in a variety of capacities, and loved it. Great company to work for. Loved working with the group I worked with, and as you mentioned, I was out at Bluegrass Cooperage making barrels, not only for Brown Foreman companies, Jack Daniels, early times, Old Forester, Woodford, but we made it for everybody in the industry. And so that's where I got to meet guys like Booker Noe and Parker Beam and Elmer T. Lee, and got to be friends with them, and because we made barrels for them. And I love just going there and sitting down with them and drinking their bourbons, and establish some great friendships. But the time came when I was looking for better opportunity, given the political changes in structure within Brown Foreman. And, every week I'd get recruiters, hey, we've got a great opportunity. Would you be interested? And I said, no, not interested, not interested. Well, one day I said, you know what? Yeah, sure. What do you got? And this guy had an opportunity. He was a recruiter out of Atlanta. And so I listened to him, and I said, yeah, I might be interested in it. So long story short, I got hired on as a vice president of Boston Nichols and a managing director at Wild Turkey. And I'd known Jimmy, not real close, but I'd known Jimmy in the industry for years. And so they were looking. It was owned by Pernod Ricard at that time. And it wasn't known as a Wild Turkey Distillery, even though that was kind of how people knew it as. It was called Boulevard Distillers at the time. And
Okay.
Pernod Ricard owned the distillery, but Diageo actually had a partnership. Diageo owned the marketing and sales rights to the brand. And so it was kind of a unique.
It's almost like
Partnership,
Frankenstein.
Well, yeah,
Wow.
it's a very unique partnership. But anyhow, in 1998, March of 1998, is when I went to work for Wild Turkey as managing director. As my friends lovingly call me, I was a head turkey. Jimmy Russell worked for me at the time, and basically everybody at the plant. That's what I had responsible for. Everything in Kentucky, including the visitor center and the whole 9 yards. But
So because
But-
it was no long. Now, did Jimmy? Did they've always did they ever have ownership in that ever, or did they just work?
Russell-
Yeah, Jimmy Russell.
Russell family?
Yeah.
No.
Okay, so
Jimmy started there. It was in the 1950s, 60s, 50s, I guess, because he was 19. Jimmy was 19 years old. Jimmy was probably one of the best athletes to come out of Anderson County, Kentucky. And there's been some great athletes come out of Anderson County, Kentucky. Jimmy was playing some semi-pro baseball at the time.
Oh, wow.
And he got an opportunity. He was working in the lab, actually. Got a job at 19 years old working in the lab, and just kind of worked his way up. But the Russell family never did. It was owned by the Rippey family back then. You remember old Rippey?
Yes,
Old Rippey,
and
yeah.
the old Rippey Mansion now, and yeah.
Yeah.
But the Ripley family owned it then. Then I became, was it T.W. Samuels after that? And if I'm not mistaken, that's when it changed to the Boulevard Distillers. And then when I was there, Pernod Ricard and Diageo acquired Seagram's. I believe it was in the year 2000. And Pernod Ricard bought out Diageo's piece of it. And so it always been, there's a lot of DBAs, Austin Nichols was one of them, and that's where Wild Turkey actually came. It's back in the 1950s, I believe, when Pernod Ricard had just bought it or just bought Austin Nichols, and a guy by the name of Tom McCarthy. Tom was a VP of sales, and every year he would go on a turkey hunt down in the Carolinas. And, back in those days, everybody would bring something. Somebody would bring meat and cheese, and somebody would bring this and that. Well, Tom would go to the warehouse, and he brought some bourbon out of a barrel. He'd take down this turkey hunt for turkey camp that week. And it happened to be 101 proof. And they loved it. After the days of hunting, a day of hunting, and sitting around the fire and having a great meal, everybody said, man, this bourbon is awesome. And so every year they keep asking, hey, Tom, bring back some more of that Wild Turkey bourbon. And so that's how Wild Turkey bourbon actually got its name. And it was 101 proof. So,
wow, that's amazing. That's a great story too.
And when you think about it, Wild Turkey 101 is still readily available on the shelf,
yes.
on the shelf, right?
It's been a big staple of theirs, and you never have seen it went away. And it seems like it's always going to be there too.
So the unique aspect is, unlike Booker and Fred and Freddie, they're part of the family that at one point owned the business, and then it transferred in, and now today they're very similarly run, right? Both Jimmy and Eddie and Bruce are all part of it, working there, doing and a part of the everyday operations. And then you've got the same thing, Freddie and Fred there over there, part of the everyday operations, and Booker was part of it too. So they're very important, and so they're technically, there's 3 generations of Russells at Wild Turkey now, right?
well, actually, I think Jimmy's dad actually worked at the distillery, but he didn't have any ownership.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's just, I always thought that it was almost like very similar.
That
I did not realize
4 generations strong.
Yeah.
That's right.
Right. So that's kind of cool. So when you went there, you technically, as far as your position, you were overseeing what Jimmy was doing at the time, and not that I'm sure. But then, how much did you learn? Well, now that you were head of operations and you're running the gift, the welcome center, at the time, what it was, where people came through, and you're running everything. How different was that? You've done everything, but you hadn't been in a position where you were running everything. You ran the cooperage, but you weren't running everything. How different was that? What was that like to actually go in? Did you ever have those conversations with Jimmy? And were they asking you to ask Jimmy stuff because they didn't want to ask it?
No, even at the cooperage, I actually have responsibility for everything there. But aside from that, the learning aspects we talked about earlier, and jokingly, but still, if there's a day that goes by that I don't learn something new, then you know what? I may think about totally just retiring, because I still love it. I learn stuff new. Every people I meet, there's some great young guns as far as young master distillers in this industry that are going to take it to another level. And, again, I knew Jimmy and met him previously, but getting to work with him and work close with him, you get to understand what makes the man, okay, and really what drives him. And that was an important part for me to understand.
Mm-hmm.
I never forget the first day I started working, again, Pernod Ricard owned it, and I had to fly to New York City to their corporate offices. And there was a gentleman, Patrick Ricard was the CEO of Pernod Ricard, okay?
Mm-hmm.
The president was a gentleman by the name of Thierry Jacquiet. And Mr. Jacquiet was there at the New York offices the first day I started, went up there and got to meet him and shook his hand, and we had a nice conversation. And I vividly remember, he says, we have a lot that can be accomplished at that distillery. He said, however, never, ever change the way we make whiskey. And I took that to heart. And there were so many ways that we could have probably improved our cost of goods sold by adding some enzymes and increasing our yields or doing this and that. But I took that to heart, and I didn't do that. I mean,
You didn't.
there
Yeah.
were some things. There was a lot of low hanging fruit to probably reduce our cost and improve operations, but none of it had to do with the quality of the whiskey. So, and so it was an important aspect when it started there.
That's really cool.
Absolutely,
That's
and that shows that that tradition is carried through, and to this day, and all, and especially in the taste of their whiskeys and everything.
so. Did they early on when because you're talking about a certain time? This hasn't been forever that it's been around. I mean, uh, has it all was Thanksgiving time always a special time there with the association with turkey and everything? Did they do it different, or was it just how did they look at Thanksgiving?
Well, I think from a sales promotional perspective, there were opportunities there to kind of highlight the brand a little bit. But I've always told people my dad was a bourbon drinker, and that's what got me into bourbon as well. And unfortunately, he had passed away before I started working there. But I knew he was up in heaven, grinning from ear to ear because he loved his bourbon, and he always had a bottle of 8-year-old wild turkey in the very back of his bar. And whether it was Thanksgiving or Christmas or special holidays, anniversaries, he would pull that bottle and have a pour. That's the only time he touched that bottle. And so it was something special for him. And so I was kind of proud of the moment and an opportunity to be there and be a part of it.
Well, think about that statement that you just made. He had a bottle of 8-year. Now me and CT were down there, and they had released through the gift shop the 8-year. The 8-year, and it's I got CT the last bottle, and he was like, "Oh," I'm like, "You can have it," but think about that was a special bottle, and then what we're doing tonight. This is a perfect segue. Is we're going to be doing the Russell's 15-year. So now you're talking about they've added, yes, all three of us have that, and we're gonna do a barrel Old Louisville Whiskey Company barrel bottle breakdown of this 15. But think about that how bourbon has evolved from that time period. What was special, and it was an 8-year, but there wasn't this aspect that I will give credit to Elmer T. Lee and Booker, and then as this went around, then you got Wild Turkey. This is all this generation probably making these higher end special bottles. It's really kind of exploded. How many special bottles, there's so many special bottles that what is the special bottle that you break open that you keep in the back of your shelf? Is it one that has a special story attached to it? Because I mean, special bottles are pretty much out there a lot these days. Would you not say?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I don't really have one special bottle that I keep back. I mean, I've had an opportunity to taste so many great bourbons, and whatever's available, and if I know something's coming up and I got something that I really like that I want to share with friends, and I'll hang on to it, and that's when we'll open it. But,
and you've also had opportunity to make
itself.
it too. You really had a good opportunity to make special bottles, and that's really kind of a cool thing.
I have, and you're talking about Russell's now. You want me to go into how Russell's came to be?
Yes, because then that's what that definitely. We've
Absolutely.
when we did, I think we did one of our lives on Friday night, that when we were first starting off, that weren't part of the podcast, and you came on, and we were doing Russell's, I believe 6 and 10-year. We had it out, and me and John, and then you came on, and then you blew our mind. You just blew our mind. We're just like, wait, what? And so talk about that. Talk about how that.
The company's owned by Campari now, an Italian company, and they put out a lot of marketing hype, which don't believe in what you read. And I'll just leave it at that. But I started there in March of 1998. And Pernod, I'd been there a couple months. And Pernod Ricard, I'd go to New York City at least once a month, a lot of times twice a month, to meetings and what have you. But one day they asked me, they said, we think we have too much whiskey. Would you take a look at our inventory and let us know if we have too much whiskey? And I said, I'd be glad to do that, but I need to know what your sales forecasts are out into the future. And back then we had numerous brands. We had 80 proof, 101, which is about 75 or more percent of the total volume. We had Rare Breed, we had Kentucky Spirit, and some duty-free and international items. And anyhow, they said, well, let's figure all the brands, Wild Turkey brands, 2% growth for the next 3 years. I said, no, I need to know after 12 years. You've got brands that are 12 years old, so I need to know what your sales forecasts are after 12 years. That way I can back that into the inventory and determine if you have too much. So again, long story short, I've got this, I call it a liquidation distillation model that I built. It's an Excel spreadsheet. It factors in how old the whiskey is, what the yield should be, in that from the angel share, medium and barrels, how many proof gallons are available, and you tie that back into what sales you need, given the different formulas and so forth. And it tells you, the barrels you need, not only the barrels you got in inventory that you need to use up, but also what you need to lay down to plan the future. And so I conducted this analysis, and I had a meeting up in New York City late in the week. I went up there, and they said, well, what's the answer? So, well, the answer is this: you don't have too much whiskey, but you got too much older whiskey. And they said, well, how can that be? I said, well, the finance group in New York City at the corporate office, they're telling the folks in Kentucky which barrels to pull for the different brands. Well, Wild Turkey 101 was, like I said, 75, 80% of the total volume. And they were using 6.5-year-old bourbon and Wild Turkey has one for their bourbon. They have one mash bill. Okay, it's the same mash bill. Mm-hmm. And so they would tell the folks in Kentucky which barrels to pull for them. Well, every year they'd use 6.5 years old. Well, 6.5 years ago, they made far more bourbon than what they were selling the current day that we were talking about. And so what happened was the next year rolled around. Now this bourbon's 7.5 years old. And the finance group said, oh, we can't use that. That's going to increase our component costs. It's another year older. There's more evaporation loss. There's ad valorem taxes and expenses against that. So we can't increase our costs. So they kept using 6.5-year-olds. So they just kept getting older and older whiskey. And so I said, well, what can we do about that? I said, well, first off, finance group in New York needs to stop telling people in Kentucky what barrels to use. They're smart people. They can figure it out. Okay.
They can do it much better.
Exactly. Now I said, next, we have to use some of this older stuff. So now 101 is 6.5-year-olds. Well, we're going to have to put some 7.5, 8-year-old, maybe 9-year-old there. Not in such big percentages that it's going to totally change the taste profile, but we're going to have to start using it up because we got a bunch. Okay. Second option is we can try to sell aged whiskey in the barrel. Now, in 1998 is when this happened. Nobody was buying aged whiskey, not like it is today or has been during this bourbon.
Yeah.
Nobody was buying. And so that really wasn't out. I said, third option is let's come out with a new bourbon. Okay. And I said, it's high time this company paid tribute to one of the greatest master distillers in this industry, Jimmy Russell. And they said, yeah, that's a great idea, but what should we call it? I said, well, for lack of a better name, why don't we call it Russell's Reserve? And so they agreed. Now, Jimmy didn't know anything. This is on a Friday up in New York City at the corporate offices. So I flew back that weekend. Monday morning, I go into the plant. And like I did every morning, I throw my laptop on the computer or on my desk, and I go over to the distillery and see, what happened during the weekend and check the numbers and so forth and all the lab tests. And then I go over to bottling and say hello to folks over there, and then I come back. Well, I saw Jimmy that morning. I said, Jimmy, I said, I was in New York this past week. I said, we're thinking about coming out with a new brand. I said, if I'm not mistaken, we got some great 10-year-old bourbon on the fourth floor of Beware. So sometime today, you mind running up there and grabbing a sample of it? Let's try it out. And so he did. And later that afternoon, I was just finishing up with a meeting with the union, and we're just knocking on the door. And Jimmy opened the door, and he says, "You busy?" I said, "No, come on in, Jimmy." I said, "We're just wrapping up here." And so he come in and he had a little snifter glass of this bourbon. He said, "Here's that bourbon sample you wanted." Well, I grabbed it from him, and I got a foot from my nose, and the caramel and vanilla about took the head off my shoulders. Holy cow. And so I sipped it, and I mean, wow, that's amazing. And you got to know Jimmy. Jimmy wouldn't cuss if he had a mouthful, but he'd sit there and he'd just look at me and grin, and he just shook his head and said, "That's pretty good bourbon." Yes, sir. Well, again, he didn't know this was going to be his namesake. So I worked with the packaging folks. I worked with marketing. And it came in the original tall Wild Turkey bottle. It was 101 proof. And it said Wild Turkey's Russell Reserve. It was all screen printed in gold. And when we finally decided to unveil it and presented it to him, he shed a couple of tears and was pretty proud of it. But I'm pleased the way that the brand has resonated. And the other thing was marketing. I mean, this is 1998. It actually hit the shelf in 1999. Our marketing group tried to hit a price niche. I said, this is 10-year-old bourbon. It's in this 1998, 1999. It's a $40 bottle of bourbon. He said, "Oh no, we're going to charge $24.99. So what? I mean, I blew up. I couldn't believe it. He said, "Well, our 101 at the time was like $18 a bottle. Rare breed was $32 a bottle." So they wanted to hit a price point just in between those two. And even today, I think for 10-year-old bourbon, it's some of the best value bourbon you're going to find out there. The flavors are phenomenal. And yeah.
So
I just got to ask before we get any further. So actually, Jimmy, at the time, you told him he went out and pulled those samples from the barrel himself?
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Wow. That's awesome.
now,
Did he
work on? Did he work?
Hard for me to fathom, knowing Jimmy as he is today, is that was back in a time where he was a working man, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, that's been what? RNG, that's been 27 years ago.
27 years ago, yeah. Yeah.
In 1998, realistically, nobody that was drinking bourbon gave two shits who the master distiller was in 1998. They weren't. It wasn't a thing yet. The bourbon aspect, people in the industry, yes, 100% people knew, and people in Kentucky knew. But when it came to the everyday person walking into that store and buying bourbon, that Jimmy and Booker and all that, that hadn't yet started to take hold yet about the history. Now, Jim Beam was putting the people on the side of the bottle, but when I had bottles of Jim Beam too, and it didn't mean anything to me. You know what I mean? I was looking for something that I could get through, not who was making it. Now, here's a real quick question before we keep going on this. So the one thing that's really unique to me is that, yes, I find right now bourbon is coming down. It's coming back down. For instance, the bottle of Rare Breed last year probably peaked at about $49. When I started buying it in 2019, it was $32, and it had gone up. Well, I went out this weekend because it's one of my favorite bourbons that I like to drink on. I only had one bottle signed by Jimmy Russell, so I am not opening that one. So I went and bought one. It's $44.99. I feel everything's starting to come down for a number of reasons. But the one reason main is that we're starting to get into some supply. And they're gonna, as we get into the supply and it's not going, the bourbon boom isn't going full out. There's still people drinking an awful lot of bourbon. They're gonna lower the price to keep us, they can lower the price to keep us rocking and rolling. That will be a really good thing. And you start to see that already. But the one thing that I've noticed is when I was a kid and I walked in, when I'm 22, 23 years old, and I walked into a store, if I bought a bottle of Jack Daniels or Jim Beam, it was $18.99, $19.99 for 750 milliliter, and it was the top shelf stuff. That was the high-end stuff that you got at the bar, Jack Daniels, you were Jim Beam. But now when you walk in, the price is exactly the same. It's $18.99, $19.99 a bottle, but it is not the top shelf stuff. But the price, how is the price on those bourbons and whiskey, how has it stayed the same forever?
It all relates to profit margin, man. I mean, as long as their cost of goods sold, they're able to keep that down. It's all the margins. That's what you got to show your shareholders, that you're maintaining the profitability and the margins.
Yep.
You got to think it costs more to make it.
I want to say that relates to why they're coming out with all these different brands now in each of the different companies, like the 13-year, the 15-year, and like the Rick House and all that, because that's where they're making up in the profit margin. I want to think anyway.
They don't, not enough. I mean, you could take all of these special high-end bourbons that they're releasing, and the amount that they release, just like Buffalo Trace and everything. But it doesn't. You could take them and add them all up on the shelf, and you could take all of them and put them together, and it doesn't even come close to what Jim Beam Jim Beam and Jack Daniels sell. They're just selling such a huge volume. Yeah. Those base bourbons are 80% of the market. 80% of people who drink bourbon drink Wild Turkey 101, Jack Daniels, and Jim Beam. That's what they're drinking, even on the percentages of Beam. It's mostly Jim Beam, correct?
Yeah, Beam's the highest selling bourbon. And yeah. I don't consider Jack Daniels.
Well, it's coming. It's actually catching Old Forester's. It's catching up to Jack Daniels, because Jack Daniels has dropped a little bit, because they were slow to the market of their specialty whiskeys.
Okay, Jack Daniels is not a bourbon. You will not see bourbon on the label. You've seen this argument. You've had. I think.
Yes, because you do realize George Dickel that puts it through the process has a 9-year. George Dickel 9-year bourbon, which is the same process. They just call it bourbon.
Okay.
They can. But Jack Daniels doesn't want to call it. They want it Tennessee whiskey. They don't want anything to do with it. They got Old Forester and Woodford Reserve to be their bourbons. They don't need Jack Daniels to be bourbon.
I can't tell you how many free drinks I've gotten at the bar when the bartender says, "Well, here's our bourbons," and he lists Jack Daniels. That's not a bourbon. He says, "Yes, it is." I said, "No, it's not." "Yes, it is." Well, tell you what, I'll bet you a free drink, and I'll double the price of your drinks if you can find bourbon on that label.
You can.
So, yeah.
No, Brown and Forman is not interested. They want it to be Tennessee whiskey because it doesn't need to compete with bourbon. They got their own bourbons. They know what they're doing.
Greg, you say that, and I'll go when I go into like a strange restaurant or something like that. When I'm out traveling. And I'll ask the people, "What bourbons do you have?" And they'll pull that Jack Daniels, and I'll tell them, "No, that's not bourbon." And they'll pull a couple others. "No, that's not bourbon. I want your bourbons that you have." And then it always comes down to like Jim Beam or Wild Turkey or something like that.
Yeah.
Or Maker's Mark. Maker's Mark is on more starting to be out there.
Maker's is just about every bar. You're right. Yeah.
Well, it does make sense considering it's owned by the same company that sells Jim Beam. So why the hell wouldn't they be selling Maker's Mark at the same time when they go into the bars, right? Just marketing makes sense. But that brings us to so Russell's. As a brand, you're talking about it got released in 1998. 99. Okay. And then I just want to talk about this one real quick. 70-year anniversary of Jimmy Russell. He had that bottle released. And of course, I want to say it was released. It's an 8-year. And I want to say it was what I believe it was 101, right? It would make sense, wouldn't it? Nope. Yep, 101, 50.5. So that was a really good, that I just had a little sip of that just before, and that's a really good bottle. If anybody, when that got released, and it's right about a year ago right now when they released it. So then he just had another. But when you're talking about, he's been at the distillery for 70, so he's probably just had, that was his 90th birthday last year, wasn't it? So we're at
Well,
91.
he just had his 91st birthday. if
Yep,
I'm not
91.
mistaken,
Yeah. So on his 90th birthday, they released his 70th.
this week.
Yep.
Yeah, so I was there, believe it or not, I was there for Jimmy's 45th, and we had a big celebration for Jimmy's 45th anniversary. Because that's, I mean, again, I've been in it 47 years, okay? But 45 years is a long time.
Well,
And so I had 6 bottles. I had them laser engraved. They were rare breed bottles, special bottles. There was rare breed bourbon in it, but it was special bottles, laser engraved for Jimmy's 45th anniversary. Only did 6 of them. Okay, Jimmy got one. I think a couple top management got one, and a couple of people in the plant got one. But I got one of the 6 in my collection. And then when his 50th came around, we had a big. Actually, we celebrated at our Christmas party. I always threw a big Christmas party for our salaried staff and their spouses and significant others. And Ernie Fletcher was governor of Kentucky at that time. And Ernie and his wife came to our Christmas party to recognize Jimmy for his 50 years. But I also had, Jerry Dalton and Jim Rutledge and all the master distillers, Elmer T. Lee, all the master distillers from all the other distilleries were there as well to celebrate with us. So it was a fun night and a special night for Jimmy. And again, I thank the world of him, think him like a brother, and he deserves the recognition. Such a great guy.
Yes, he does. Yeah.
Wonderful industry.
Yeah, and it's
Hey, I gotta ask you, since you're talking about those special times, is there any kind of special story that you have with Jimmy that you'd like to tell us?
I've got a bunch. I've shared it with you guys before, but
Yeah, you shared a few of them.
so I got it. Yeah, the one that just comes to mind is you guys have heard this one. The Bourbon Festival before Randy Prass and his crew got involved. It got to be where it was a week long. We started on Wednesday and didn't end until the late Sunday. And on Saturday, we always had the black tie event. It was a nice gala. And it started out, all the distilleries had a booth in this big hall, big room. And people would come in for the price of admission. They could taste any bourbon that was made. Because back then, there was only about 8 big distilleries, 8 distilleries total.
Yeah.
They've been a 1 or 2 other smaller brands. I know Van Winkle didn't have a distillery, but they were there as well. But Julian Van Winkle was always there. But so anyhow, I can't remember if it was 99 or 2000, but it was when Buffalo Trace first came out. Okay. And Mark Brown, who's a good friend of mine, and CEO of Sazerac, owns Buffalo Trace. He changed Ancient Age Distillery into Buffalo Trace. They changed the name. Mm-hmm. They came out with this Buffalo Trace bourbon. Well, that year, they actually had, they hosted the VIP media party, press party, which is always on Friday of the Bourbon Festival week. And I was getting away late, so I got over there in time. And Mark Brown was up at the podium talking. I walk in, and they had tables around. They were serving bourbon. So I walk up, and I said, well, I'm going to try some of this Buffalo Trace. So I ordered a Glencairn of it, or a little glass of it, And I look over at Jimmy, and he saw what they poured. And Jimmy and Jaretta were standing over off the side. And Jimmy looks at me and he goes, gives this stern look and shakes. He goes, I'm thinking, what? What are you talking about? And so I sniffed it. I said, ooh. It's so good. And I look over at Jimmy, and he just was going, shaking his head.
Oh my God.
And then I tasted it. I said, oh my God. It was the most musty, whiskey you've ever tasted. Again, not throwing stones because they've done a great job of bringing it back around. But when they first came out to market, it was the mustiest whiskey you've ever tasted. I mean, that corn must have been moldy for months or whatever. I mean, they had some flooding where they actually floated barrels out of the rick house from the floods of the Kentucky River. And so maybe it was the barrels that were caught in the flood, or it was just the bad grain use, but it was nasty. And so that was on Friday. Saturday, we're all set up and we're getting ready before they open the doors and let everybody in. We're setting up our booth. And Jimmy and I are in our tuxedos and Wild Turkey, we were sitting right here. We had Jim Beam was right next to us. And Jim Beam's booth, it was kind of a mock-up of Booker's front porch. You had the big white columns, and the rocking chairs. And Booker and Fred were sitting in the rocker chairs, okay? And Jimmy kind of nudges me with his elbow and says, "Hey, Greg," he says, "come with me." It's okay. So we walk over straight across the room, and he gets a sample of his Buffalo Trace. Then he walks back, says, "Come on." And so, and he loved to pick and tease, okay? And he and Booker would go back and forth. And so he said, "Hey, Booker," he said, "you tried this new bourbon yet?" And Booker goes, "No, don't believe I have, Russell. What is that?" So I some of this new Buffalo Trace. You ought to try it. Okay. Well, you had to know Booker. Booker didn't nose or sip. He just threw it back, okay? Mm-hmm. Well, Jimmy handed him this little glass of this Buffalo Trace, and Booker threw it back, and his eyes got big as saucers, and he goes, and he just spit it out all over the floor. Oh my God. "Damn you, Russell, you trying to kill me?" And my ribs were hurting. I was laughing so hard. So anyhow, God. But there's so many stories like that with Elmer T. Lee and Parker Beam. And Jimmy was a prankster. He loved to pick and tease and tell jokes. But just a true gentleman. He really was.
That's what I started off with. It's like when me and Jeff went down there, first thing is that Jimmy, he just starts ragging Jeff, and what the hell is that?
Yeah, he was ragging me for that
shirt. His mouth when we go up, and Jeff shakes his head, and what the hell is that?
He looks at
who is that? Why are you wearing that shirt in here? I mean, and Jeff is just he's just like almost embarrassed and just trying to explain it. And then he's like, "Oh, I'm just giving you hell, boy."
He goes, I know Walter. He goes, "I know Walter." And I'm like, yeah.
And then he's like, "I know Walter." He said, "Yeah, I've known Walter for a while, and we're friends. It's all right." But he had Jeff so tore up. But then he just busted out laughing and all that. If
you remember that, Greg, you texted him and included me on the text. And I'm just like, seriously? He's including me on the text with Jimmy Russell? You mean I have his number? I would never do anything. But then he's like, but he didn't really respond. You know what I mean? You told him, "This is Jeff Mueller. He's going to be there, whatever." Yeah. So I didn't 100% expect that he was going to be there. But when we walked in, I'm like, holy crap. And then he's like, "We've been waiting for you."
I knew, even though he didn't respond, I knew if Jimmy could be there, he'd be there. He's such a dear friend. It's always been great to me. And I'm very thankful for the time we got to work together. And God bless he and Jaretta. They're some of the most down-to-earth people you ever want to meet.
They sure are.
Wonderful people.
My life is blessed by him. So
it's amazing.
She is really a sweetheart. I'm telling you, it was just a pleasure to meet both of them, and especially her too. Yeah.
Right. And then he just goes out in the gift shop regularly and it's like at his age, it's just like, it's amazing what he's doing. He just lives his days. And he fulfills them with the bourbon drinkers that are his friends. Everybody. Yeah. He's definitely that. He has evolved into that the complete icon, right?
Yeah, he is. He is definitely an icon in the industry.
But now to hear the story with the complete background, like with me understanding. I mean, I never realized. I knew you worked there. I didn't realize that you were sending Jimmy to the warehouse to get samples for you. You know what I mean? So you could taste them together. Had no idea that's where you were, Greg. Actually, now I feel less worthy of knowing you. I'm not worthy. I'm not worthy. But anyways, that's amazing story. So let's talk about, when did you leave Wild Turkey? What year?
It was 2008. Yeah.
So technically, this 15 came out 2 years ago. Was their first 15. And if you think about that, that puts us at 2023 minus 15. Isn't that 2008?
It is 2008. I don't know if that was some of the stuff that I was still involved with or not. Quite honestly, we'd broken ground for the new distillery because we were still making it at the old distillery that overlooked the bridge, there, the Tyrone Bridge. So, but yeah, I couldn't tell you. Is that Camp Nelson, or does it really say on where it was aged?
Does it say where it's aged? I don't know. Let's take a look at that bottle.
No. Probably doesn't, but
let's see.
This is actually says a limited release in 2024.
All right, 2024.
So that would back
2009.
Yeah, it was probably after I left.
Yeah.
I was up in May in 2009.
Okay.
Okay, aged 15 years. Yeah. Who knows though?
It looked like, I saw your DSP 67 there. Martin, but they have actually 3 DSPs there in Kentucky. They have one over at McBrayer. McBrayer are the warehouses straight across the street from Four Roses.
Okay.
They've been to Four Roses Distillery. Mm-hmm. They don't own those warehouses. Those are Wild Turkey's warehouses.
Okay.
And,
wow.
Yeah, we used to have 5 there. I think now we just got the 3, or they got the 3. And then Camp Nelson is just south of Lexington and Nicholasville, Kentucky, kind of on the shores or high shores of Kentucky River. And it's there's 6 warehouses down there.
So
I have a single rick house from Camp Nelson F.
Yeah, that's a great maturing warehouse complex. It sits extremely high elevation wise in Kentucky. Again, if you go off the property not too far, it goes straight down a couple hundred feet, just like the distillery does there to the Kentucky River. The Wild Turkey Distillery is about 300 feet above the Kentucky River. And so, God forbid it ever gets flooded.
Oh, yeah.
Those warehouses too. And there's so much great wind that comes through that high elevation to those warehouses that the maturation is just phenomenal.
Well, wow. That bridge where they bungee jump yearly is amazing, right there on the property. So that's really cool.
Out there, it's not fun when it was before they bungee jumped. Yeah.
All right, so now they have a Russell 6-year. Initially, when it was released, it was as a 10-year, correct?
Was that the rye, or is that bourbon?
They make bourbon 6-year. You can get it off the shelf all day long.
Okay, I've never had it. We came out. We had just one SKU. It was the Russell's Reserve was a 10-year-old bourbon.
Okay. Yeah, They do have Russell's 10, 6 and 10. I saw it on the shelf just this past weekend when I did my bourbon hunting video. It was out there, and that's really kind of cool. But let's talk. As this is going on, Russell's 13 was released a while back in that first batch, which was unbelievable. In my opinion, it's one of the things that Wild Turkey does in their rare breed and the Russell's Reserve is they get that caramel across. Now, a lot of their other stuff has that bourbon flavor. I like to call it bourbon flavor. It's the smell of the barrels age. And when you walk in a rick house, you can smell that whiskey aging. And you don't usually smell a lot of caramel when you walk in a rick house. You smell that bourbon flavor that I call, but
that oaky.
It's got the oak and the whiskey flavor going. But I always feel that in Kentucky, when you get into these aging areas, that caramel of the barrel, of how they do their chars, that caramelized, the wood sugars in there, right in that thing, and you really can pull that out because of the heat that you're using, that you use. It's like a perfect aging thing that Russell's 13 just delivered with that caramel. Now, this Russell's 15, which is that I have from 2024, and I don't know, is yours from 2024 or is that a 2025 release, Greg?
Probably a 2025, but where's it down there?
It says it to the right of the 15. Limited release 2024. See that 15?
Yeah, 2024. That mine's 2024.
Okay, so we all have the release.
Too, yeah.
So when I first opened the 15, I still like the 13, but the 15's good.
I wholeheartily agree.
There was an oaky, but right now, after this being open for a year, because Walker kindly was able to obtain this and shared this with me, and this, and I think that I'm really smelling a lot of caramel. So let's give this a barrel bottle breakdown.
You want to help us break it down?
I can, but I'll let you guys actually do the badum bumps and the bangs and whatever. To your point, Jeff, I was doing a whiskey dinner here a couple of years ago down at the Gator Club in Sarasota, Florida, and great night, had fun, and it came up. Russell, somebody mentioned it, and the fact that I created the brand. Anyhow, later on that evening, after the event, we were sitting there, and one guy says, "Have you tried the 13-year-old Russells yet?" I said, "I have not. I've wanted to. I just haven't had the opportunity." So he brought me a Glencairn of it, and like you said, oh my God, it's in my top 5 of all. Yes. It was so good. The caramel, vanilla bomb, was just spot on. Mm-hmm. And you're right, the 15, from my palate, I think the oak's starting to overtake the profile and kind of takes away from the caramel, and it's still there. But the 13 to me just shine. So
also,
I agree with you wholeheartedly.
I agree with that up until this point. I'm hoping that the nose that I'm getting off after it's sat, because we all know what happens when a bourbon oxidizes in the bottle. There's certain aspects of tannins and some of the more stringent flavors and aromas are released, and it basically then you're left with a little bit more. So I found that some bourbons, like if it's a 20-year or whatever, and it's like some of them, they don't age really well. They stay the same in the bottle. But there's some bourbons that, and I find them like to be the mid-range bourbons that if you because I let a lot of bourbon sit. I don't know what to tell you. You open up the bottle, you do the tasting, and if I was drinking all these bottles, you've been down here, Greg, I don't think I'd still be here right now. I would probably they would have buried me, if I'm trying to drink all this bourbon. But
I'm living proof that you gotta let bourbon sit. You can't drink all this stuff. It's more for a show, but not only that, but I get to taste all these, but also too, I invite anybody and everybody that anytime they come by my house, no matter what bottle is sitting up there, if you want a pour of it, you're more than welcome to try it and have a pour and try it to see what you think about it. And that's what that in my background is for. Like I say, it's not for me, because I wouldn't be here today if I attempted to drink all that stuff up there.
All right, let's do this quick. Old Louisville Whiskey Company's barrel bottle breakdown. Check out Amin there in Louisville, Kentucky, and then our breakdown
is 4 categories. We have the nose, the body, the taste, and the finish. Nose and body, you can give 4 barrel bottle breakdowns.
Knocks on the barrel.
Knocks, yeah. and the taste and the finish, because we find those to be more prevalent in the way the bourbon tastes and feels. You can give up to 5 knocks on it. But if there is one category that you feel that is exceptional in that category, you can give it a ba-dum-bum.
There you go. All right, so I'm going to go first. I've been nosing this for a little bit. The nose to me on this one has improved. I get a burnt caramel, a little bit, but the burnt caramel toffee flavor on the nose after this time. I don't remember it being this strong, but it's awesome. So I'm going to give that nose a 4.
I gotta agree with you, like the burnt caramel, sort of toffee on it.
Yep.
But I'm getting a little bit of that oakiness to it too.
Yeah, there's just a little bit, but not too much.
Yeah.
No, I don't know what's going to be when it comes to taste. But
And I'm getting just a little bit of the vanilla off of it too.
so this comes in at 117.2 proof, which is a high proof for a while. You know, Jimmy thought that 101 was like the perfect proof, correct?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was Jimmy's jam. Yep.
All right, what are you going to give it?
I really like the nose on this, and what the aromas that I'm getting off of it. I'm gonna have to give it a 4 too.
Here we go. Body is super nice. I mean, it's 117 proof in the glass. It coats the glass. The legs are super long. It sticks for a while. I mean, the viscosity of this is anytime it just sticks and sticks and sticks, and then it kind of starts forming those legs on the most extreme part of the Glen, and then they're thick running in. It's fantastic that way.
It takes forever for them to develop.
Delivers on the mouthful.
To me, I think it's really good.
What are you gonna do for the what are you giving it for the?
I'm gonna give it a 4
for the body.
Yeah, it's got a great body to it. Very nice thickness, great mouthfeel. It's hitting all the sides. Everything that I like to taste in a bourbon.
So, Greg, not that you're giving any opinion on it. My question is, what do you look at as the body? How do you judge your body when you're tasting something?
Well, the term full body comes to mind. Okay, when I say full body, I mean it's robust in complexity of flavors. Okay, for me, and again, I'm not rating because
right.
But I think the nose. Man, I picked up a lot of wood on the taste. Same thing. I get a lot of wood on it, but the caramel, the vanilla notes that I know the brand for, that I originally, knew the brand for, shine a little bit. They're kind of overmasked a little bit by the over oakiness, and that's where I was saying earlier. I think the 13-year-old was a sweet spot. Jimmy would always say he doesn't like bourbon unless it's 8 to 10 years old is his sweet spot. Well, again, that a lot of that depends on the type of maturation warehouse it was aged in and the location of the maturation warehouse it was aged in, and so that can play a huge role, and the barrel itself can play a huge role.
So,
for full bodiness, again, I think it's got a lot of chew to it. If you know that term,
yeah. So, but now you do include a little bit of the taste as far as the body, like
I do, absolutely. I think you have to.
Okay, so on this one here, as far as like flavor and being full body, it's there, but it seems like there's a little bit of the oakiness that adds a sharp, almost like a peppery, how it lights up your what it's lighting up in in the taste buds in your mouth.
I think
It's
that's
kind
good
of like
analogy. Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
like tingling them, like with a sharpness that it's not necessary. The body is big, but there's a so I would rate this body a 3 because of that, with that little bit of oaky pepper aspect of it. It's too peppery for me. So when I'm doing that, it's almost like it's not quite painful, but it's almost like it's painful. So I'll give it a 3. All right, for taste, you're right. The caramel, I always, when I'm drinking or tasting whiskey, I like to pull it in the front of my mouth and just kind of get my tongue, dip the tip of my tongue, because that's where all the sweet sensors are. And where you taste sweet at the tip of your tongue. And it's caramely and it's rich and it's really good. But as soon as you let that go and it goes towards the rest of your palate and down and you swallow it, it basically, that's where the oak comes through, and it's just a tad too much for me. So
Exactly.
out of 5, I'm gonna say I enjoy this. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of people who love that oaky flavor. That's why you put 15 out, because palates are different. There are some people that would this would be like their absolute bomb. It's not too sweet. Like if you're drinking bourbon and you're not a big sugar fan, 13 is a dessert. I mean, it almost tastes like caramel sauce that you pour over ice cream. So but the 15, it takes that away and adds that little bit of oakiness. So if like you're a big fan of oaky Chardonnay, I think you would absolutely love this. But me, on the other hand, I'm going to put it, as far as taste goes, this drops. Let me try again. Oh, I have to drink more whiskey.
Oh, imagine that.
I'm going to give
Darn.
Yeah.
I'm going to.
On a whiskey podcast.
There's
you
enough.
gotta
There's
drink
enough
more.
caramel in there to give it a 4 out of 5. I was close to giving it a 3, but it's I can't. This last sip, there was enough caramel in there.
I totally agree with you. When you start tasting this, at first you'll get that little bit of caramelization that you're tasting, and a little bit of sweetness, not quite as much as what, like you were saying, in the 13 year. But then once I swallow this and it goes past that tongue, then I start getting that oakiness, that little bit of bitterness, and maybe even like a cigar box taste to it. And that sort of takes away from what I'm wanting to initially taste, thinking that I'm going to taste. And so,
Excuse me.
I was thinking, I'm torn because I kind of like it, but not near, I'm torn. So I'm gonna have to give the taste actually a 3, because it's not complex to me. I'm not getting all the sugary flavors that I would think that I would be getting out of this, and because that oakiness and that bitterness of the tannins and the leatherness or cigar box taste that I'm getting, that's what's overwhelming everything. And so
It's hard because you guys have tasted the 10-year-old and understand the sweetness and the caramel vanilla flavors come out of that. Then you've tasted the 13-year-old. So I have to compare it to the 15. You're right. You get the full gamut of what's out of that barrel the longer it sits. And our palates are so aligned, Bart. It's amazing.
Well, John Ritt, who's watching tonight, he says that this year's Russell's Reserve 13 is a bit a bit of heat, but yeah, sweet and caramel. But at first year of Russell's 13 was unbelievable. The second year was still pretty good. And then last year's 13 I thought was a little bit it didn't match up to what the first couple releases are. And so I'm always hoping every year that a release comes, they're trying to keep the profile, but when you're dealing with how whiskey ages and you're at the 13 year and the the summers in Kentucky have been so hot lately that that also can add a little, take a little bit of that
that plays a
sweetness.
lot.
Maybe it's 11 year where it's peaking now. You never know, but
That
go ahead.
that also too is like this year's Russell's Reserve is the highest proof ever, 13.
Okay.
This is batch 6, and it is at the proof of. Got my glasses fogging up or something. Oh, it's 123.8.
Well, that's delivering for Russell's. I mean, for Wild Turkey. I mean, they've been. This is 117. So real quick now.
Yeah, and see, like last year's, actually, this is batch 3. Batch 3 is 114.8 proof.
Right. So now we get to the finish, which I think is, for me, is the worst part of it, because it leaves me with nothing but the tobacco, the wood, the flavors, those bitter flavors. It's a bitter finish. There's no sweetness to it all, and that's what I'm always looking for. If I went upstairs without drinking something else, I wouldn't be happy. Put it that way. And so I'm going to give the finish a 3 for this. And the 15 is supposed to deliver, and it's not a criticism of whatever. I understand people like these type of finishes, but when I'm dealing with older whiskey, I want the finish to be something that's super unique, where it's really long and all of a sudden a vanilla pops in 25 seconds later, and then maybe there's a little bit of mint or whatever. But this is just stays wood. So
yeah, the original Russells, the original 10-year Russells that we came out with, that was which was so impressive. I think mostly about that particular batch, the first batch ever. I mean, the finish was just it never ended. It was just a never-ending story. Holy cow! It was just the caramel and vanilla just lingered for so long. And you're right. I agree with you. It just kind of just ends. Boom. And it's got that bitterness and kind of dry mouth to it.
Right, and that's not how you want that. Usually it's just like you want something kind of like, oh, I'm tasting. You go, you just have a pleasant taste, and it's just too oaky, and that's where it really falls. And what are you thinking, Nash?
I totally agree. And to me, also on the finish of this, not only do you lose all the sweetness and the flavors go away so quickly, but then once you're left with that oaky sort of cigar box taste, but it goes away quick. I mean, there's not very much of a hug. To me, it's not even hardly a medium hug to it, even for being 117. Yeah, for being 117 proof. I mean, there's really not much of a hug. It goes away so quick. And so I got to give it a 3 too.
All right. So I gave it a 14.
14,
and you gave it a 15. You gave it a 15. You gave a
8. No, I gave it 4, 4, 3, and 3.
And I gave it 4, 3.
4, 3, 4, 3.
Okay. So there you go. 14 out of 18. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and tell you this is bad bourbon. I drink this any day.
No,
but it's not. It's a 15-year
out of 18. I mean, that's still.
After the 13, you're just hoping the caramel gets better, and it didn't.
Yeah.
So the last thing I'd like to do before I let you go, Greg, is do you have the rare breed?
No.
Oh. All right. So Nash, you got rare breed sitting there, right?
Yeah.
All right, let's just do a toast, because this This
Actually, I gotta pull it off of, right from back here, cause I'm not gonna open this bottle that, Jimmy signed.
no, I opened this a couple days when I got it the other day, and had to have a sip. And I will tell you,
I do have this one that's been open for about a year now. And I sipped a little bit earlier.
and I'm just gonna tell you, and I'm sure you were a part of just keeping this to what it was, Greg. Rare Breed is the first bourbon that ever. I was in New York City, met a friend, and I had it, on the rocks at there's a park in New York City with a restaurant. It starts with a T. And we were eating there with my wife's uncle, and I ordered this on the rocks, and it was the first bourbon that when I tasted it, like I just took a sip, where it made me think about it and turn my head to go, how is that bourbon? Now, the second bourbon that ever did that was when we were at Bardstown Bourbon Company, and you let me taste that 15-year. That was on the same level or above this level. But when it comes to like this was the affirmation that how much I loved Booker's is what I went after first. And I just love the fact that you got to taste what Booker was tasting, uncut, unfiltered, right into the bottle. And, those batches at barrel strength. And then Rare Breed was right there where I'm like, oh, I must be a barrel strength guy.
So you know the formulation for Rare Breed?
No.
I don't know if it still is today, but when it started and when I was involved with it, because we were in batch 1 and batch 2 back then. It was 1% 12-year-old, 9% 8-year-old, and 90% 6-year-old. So it was a combination of ages. But you're right, a barrel proof back then, it was about, I don't know, 108 proof, 107, 108 proof, and it was fantastic.
This one I'm drinking is 116.8.
Well, they increased the entry proof. It's funny. I told you earlier that I was told by Terry Jacquiat that, don't change anything. And when after Pernod Ricard and Diageo bought Seagram's, and some of the Seagram's guys came into the play, Terry Jacquiat was no longer working there. And so they decided to increase the entry proof to lower the COGS. So, and when we used to put everything in at 110 proof, and they went up to 115. I think it's up to 120 now, but I don't know.
Okay. Sure. And I also noticed this got a number 4 char on the barrel.
Yeah. We Wild Turkey specs have always had a number 4 char.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, I gotta ask you.
16.8, right?
No, mine's 116.8.
116.8. Yeah.
Yeah.
58.4.
Does it have a batch number on there? Because they kept doing
That's what I
batches.
was looking for.
Batch 1, and
I didn't see the batch.
but they again, that was just a part of the label. And
So on Jimmy Russell, when this one says 2013 Kentucky Straight, I don't know why it's written 2013. And then this one, they're both 116 point. They're both exactly the same proof. So they're putting it out at 116.8 proof. The last couple years, last 3 years, because this one's from 20. This one just came off the shelf a couple days ago, and this is the one that was selling in the gift shop for Jimmy.
so their entry is somewhere around 115 to 120 proof, where we used to buy or barrel everything at 110.
Yeah, because the one I got that's signed by Jimmy a couple years ago is 116.8 too.
Yeah.
Does it say 2013 on it? Right down by the Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey underneath Rare Breed, right to the left. Is there a little 2013?
Yeah. Yep.
I wonder what that is. Do you think that's that was what they were releasing from the, what you call it that day?
This was a 2023. This is the store release.
2023. Thank you.
Yeah.
Not 2013, 2023.
Yeah,
I just
and
tried to
that,
age it 10 more years.
and I do remember now that that was actually a distillery release bottle that we picked up that day.
And then he signed. Okay.
Yeah.
So the caramel.
I gotta ask Greg though, that initial year that you did the 2010 Russell's Reserve, do you still have a bottle or any part of a bottle left of that?
I've got a couple bottles. Yeah.
There you go.
Actually, Martin, I have the last bottle that came off the bottling line of the original Russell's. Yeah.
Awesome.
Well, that
yeah,
one obviously you're not opening.
Oh yeah.
No, no,
yeah.
no.
Yeah,
That's part of my collection. And
No, I know, but do you have one that's open that you sip off of?
nope,
Okay.
nope.
Okay. But that's just good to know. Like I say, I figured I kind of thought you would, but just wanted to be sure.
Well, hopefully the right person come along someday, and I can afford to or they can afford to send my kids to college. So, or my grandkids to college.
Your grandkids?
There
Wait a
you
second.
go.
Your kids have gone to
Yeah,
college.
Grandkids.
Yeah, your grandkids. Yeah.
Well, if you and Susan decide to have some kids, sure.
Don't go there now. Be careful.
Oh,
All
no,
right.
no, yeah. Yeah, it's just like, looking back, the last thing before we end this is just like looking back. Someone said, Tracy said to ask, was there anything that you've kind of answered this before because you've been to many different places. And I'm sure you've learned that's one thing that obviously I know, knowing you, that there's been times it's not like you were driving the truck and knew exactly what you were doing specifically, but over the years, the more you drove the truck, the better you got. But you learned from a lot of trial and error, let's just say, correct? And
No, it's one thing I cherish in my career is that I have been blessed, truly blessed, and when I started this business in June of 1978 to today. I have worked with so many amazing, knowledgeable people that you learn from. Again, I knew I didn't know a thing about it when I left college and said, "Well, I'm going to go work for Seagram's," and that's great. But I just, plugged along, worked hard, did what I was told. But I knew when there were people around me that were knowledgeable based on their experience. And so I've said it before, that's when you turn into a sponge and you soak up as much as you can. The experience that I got to spend with Jimmy Russell was invaluable. I mean, just the friendship alone, you couldn't ask for better. But learning from Jimmy and all the guys, again, the relationship when I worked at the Cooperage and got to know Booker and Elmer T. Lee and Parker Beam, when you're around those guys, just shut up and listen and just soak up all you can. It's just that simple. It really is. So
I mean, I where you were when you were at Chicken Cock, there that time though had to be kind of special for you because that's the time where you were like you were making it and you were doing the things and you had all of what you had, you were able to put that into that. And that's kind of a fun thing to do. Now, you've moved on, gone forward, but at the same time, that's just another check in the box, correct?
somewhat, you guys know, I put my heart and soul into that brand and had a mission to resurrect it and bring it back. And as a kid, my parents taught me a lot of manners in life. And one of the things they taught me is, if you don't have anything good to say about a person or something,
exactly,
it's best not to say anything at all. So we'll just leave it at that.
But I mean,
life goes on.
But what you were able to do, just that.
4 branches.
Yep, 4 branches. Now, when are you gonna? Do you foresee at 4 branches being able to actually lay down whiskey again?
Perhaps, but right now, we're acquiring whiskey, and I'm doing a lot of neat things. We've got a very special project I'm working on right now. I can't talk about it too much because it's going to come out
Awesome.
in 2026.
You'll talk about it when you come up. You'll talk about it
There
next
you go.
year when it comes out. That's what you do.
When it releases and you come on the podcast, right?
Yeah, no, but again, I've been blessed. And it's just like with Four Branches guys. I'm so thankful to be connected with them. It's just the stars aligned.
Yep.
The good folks down at Bardstown Bourbon Company connected me with these folks, and I admire them so much. Their military history is phenomenal, and the bourbons we're able to put out are really great. So, my title with them is Master Distiller and Master Blender. So that's kind of what we're doing right now, kind of putting some things together and coming up with some great products that I think, the bourbon lovers have enjoyed, and excited about what we got coming down the pike here in this next year.
Hey, and we're excited for you too, Greg. You and Four Branches and the whole company. Yeah,
Great guys. Great
Yes.
guys.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's the fact that you have the master distiller thing right there. I'm cool. I'm happy about that because honestly, laying down whiskey is, what would you say?
Is a pinnacle.
Yeah,
Of,
I mean,
of what it's the product to be.
your connection with Jimmy, right? And everybody else who laid down whiskey. Wow, that's just crazy. I'm just looking for something over here, and
So we poured the rare breed, and I saw Greg, he poured another pour, I believe it was the 15.
Yep.
Let's go ahead and do a cheers to and happy Thanksgiving to everybody. And
Absolutely.
thank you so much, brother.
Cheers.
We love you and appreciate
Likewise.
you so
Love
much.
you guys. Appreciate you, and happy Thanksgiving.
Yes.
I'm going to be deep frying a couple of turkeys tomorrow at my nephew's house with my son and a bunch of guys, and there'll be a little bit of bourbon flowing that day. So.
Actually, I'll be injecting mine and brining it starting tomorrow morning, and I'll be deep frying it Thursday morning.
All right, man. Cheers, guys.
all right, yeah. Thanks,
All right.
thanks, Greg, for joining us.
Absolutely.
much.
Thank you, brother.
Thanks,
And I look
thanks
forward-
for
hey,
being a part of us.
One other thing before you go is that hopefully the first part of the year, maybe around March or so, when maybe you're not so busy, we hope. Let's try to get together and get you down to the old Seagram's building and meet with a mean car.
I'd love to see it. I mean, my old stomping grounds, as you guys know, when I started
Yes.
business, 1978, that's where I worked at that old Seagram plant in Louisville, and I'd love to see it again. Yeah.
Yeah, you can show them the
I know you would,
tunnels.
so that's why I mentioned it, and maybe we can set something up before you get into your real busy season.
Okay. We'd love to.
Yeah, for
All
sure.
All right.
All right, love you, brother.
Love you too, brother.
Likewise, guys.
All right,
All right, man. Cheers.
cheers. You got to end it for you. Or
Got to end it for me.
yeah.
Oh, you ain't gotta end it.
All right. Well, I can end it for us because I'll just start the ending. All right, everybody. Thank you. www.scotchybourbonboys.com for all Scotchy Bourbon Boys things. Make sure you check us out on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, X, and TikTok, along with Apple, iHeart, and Spotify. Whether you listen or watch us, make sure you like, listen, subscribe, and leave good feedback. Also,
Yes.
make sure you become a member. That helps us out. And remember, good bourbon equals...
Good times and good friends.
Make sure you don't drink and drive, drink responsibly, and
Live
live
your life
uncut and unfiltered. And AI is going to take us out.
All right.
can't no more. Life goes on, but the choice is yours. How you play it out when you walk through that door. One bottle, one drink, one pour. That's what the Scotchy Bourbon boys got in store. Tuesdays, Thursdays, come pull up a seat. We'll taste through the whiskey on the rocks and knees. Bourbon Scotch or a good old rye. Japanese, Irish, yeah, we'll tell you why. So wherever you're sipping, near or far, tune in with us from your home or your car. One bottle, one drink, one pour. That's the podcast you've been looking for.
All right. Let's turn that down if I can figure out where. All right. All right. Thanks, Greg.
Hey,
That was
man.
a
guys,
lot.
thank you so much. Always
Thank you,
appreciate
brother.
you.
So, yeah, that
Hey,
one.
we appreciate you, brother.
That is a Thanksgiving podcast to remember. You made it that way, so we appreciate it 100%.
Hey, are
Always
you
fun.
gonna be? You know, if you're gonna be around when we come down, like December 13th and 14th.
13th, I will be at my son's house. He has their annual ugly sweater party, so I'll be
Okay.
at my son's house. So,
But the
But,
yeah,
you're in town for 13th, 14th?
yeah, we're coming down, and I've got my Maker's Mark ambassador. That whole thing went through, so I'm coming down for the golden ticket tour, and gonna pick up the bottles there, and so that's at 2:30. We got to drive straight down. We'll be there. But Sunday we're kind of open for doing some stuff on the next
Yeah.
day.
And Sunday night, I've already got tickets booked for me and Sherry. We're going to be doing that underground Louisville, going through
Oh, the Christmas Underground? Yeah, it's cool.
the Christmas.
That's really
yeah,
cool.
I just got the tickets today
Yeah.
because Jeff and them supposed to be going back late Sunday evening or something. And I told Sherry, I said, you know, hey, we'll stick around and spend the night in Louisville or something like that Sunday evening and do that and all. So we'll be around Sunday evening or something.
Okay. Not sure what we got going, but I know Susan will be here that weekend. Like I said, we got that party on Saturday, but
Okay.
I may be recouping.
I heard that. Yeah, absolutely.
Is it so warm down there that the pool's still open?
Hell no. Hell no.
They closed that down a month ago when they got snow.
Yeah,
You know,
it's gonna start dropping tomorrow afternoon. It's starting to get me down in the 30s, and then
I could tell you that
I
Kentucky's.
think you might supposed to be having snow flurries or something like Sunday or Monday.
they say we may have some tomorrow. That's what I don't like when I'm out deep
Okay.
frying turkeys. You know, it's gonna be windy, which I don't like, and
Yeah.
if there's a chance of precipitation, you don't
They-
want water dropping in the pothole.
Up here in
Yeah.
Ohio,
Same here.
Although the
that's
temperatures-
what I'm worried about is because they're saying it's going to be windy.
yes,
And when I know that happens, I've got to put up this metal skirt around the burner and all that just to keep the heat up on the turkey.
the Ohio Turnpike is shut down for empty 53-foot trailer transportation and any campers or RVs because it's supposed to be windy all the way through Sunday. I mean, I'm like,
Yeah.
wow, that is like
They're talking
crazy.
high winds all across the Midwest and northern Midwest.
I've never heard of that before. I'm sure it's going to screw up flying. You got to take off in that. I'm not in. Not for that.
Yeah, we'll have enough bourbon flowing tomorrow. If I have to, I'll take 6 guys and line them up in front of the damn burners and block the wind. So,
There you go. That's it.
So you're going to Chris's house?
No, actually, we're going to my nephew's place. He's got a big pole barn out in the back of his place. We do it out back in the pole barn. He'll smoke 4 turkeys tomorrow. We'll deep fry. Well, we do 2 for our families, and a buddy of his are coming.
So
Deep fry another one. So yeah.
so Chris will be there.
Awesome.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Tell him hi from me.
I will. Yeah.
He has the couple times we hung out has treated
Well,
me.
he asked about you tonight when I was over earlier today. I was helping him because I told him 2 years ago. I said, you know what? I'm done deep frying turkeys. We're going to pass it down the line, family lineage. So
There you go.
he needs some supervision. He says, "Can you come over and help me?" I said, "Yeah, I'll come over and help you." So anyhow,
So I've never had.
Greg, I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying because that's what I've been doing for the last couple of years. Is my son, which he's going to be going to work. He's got finishing up in December this semester, and he's got one more semester to go. Then he's going to work in Texas for SpaceX.
He's
There
got
you
the
go.
job for SpaceX.
Yep.
Excellent.
He's got the job for
Because
SpaceX,
for a
yeah.
while you sounded like that one commercial they have where the guy's just gonna. He's always talking about remodeling his kitchen.
Yeah. Oh, I know. I thought
But
he was gonna be
SpaceX is
a
awesome.
college man, but he actually told me here just about 4 weeks ago that this next semester that he's taking in spring, he thought he was going to have to go 2 more semesters, but they're combining everything in the last semester, and he'll finish up and graduate with 3. And he's already been hired on at SpaceX.
Awesome.
So,
Congratulations. That's great.
yeah, man, I am super excited for him.
All right, Greg.
Yeah.
We'll
Great.
we'll let you go.
All right, guys.
Just
All right, man.
yeah, you see
Love you,
we're yeah.
Happy
Love you guys
Thanksgiving.
too. Take care, man.
All right.
Tell
Love you
everybody
too.
happy Thanksgiving to the family.
All right.
Likewise, buddy. Bye.
Good
All right,
night.
man.
You gonna say bye, Roxy? Nope. Too late.
Well, you could have said something, but
All right. So hold on. I'm gonna give everybody on YouTube the song. I was surprised. I was like looking for like 5 minutes, and it was like hitting it. That is just crazy. Alice asleep?
finally.
She didn't fall asleep.
Launchpad the Zoom.
Here we go. Copy invitation. Here we go. Who said that?
John did. He said Launchpad the Zoom.
There it is. Yeah. That was intense.
That was awesome. That was a great podcast. I'm telling you.
Come taste this.
Wealth
Do you want me?
of information.
Roxy's going to be off camera, even though we're still on camera. You need to tell me what you think of that. Wait, I'll give you, just have a sip and we'll just do different sips. Tell me what you like the most. I'm not going to tell you what it is. I'm just going to give you sips.
Give her a sip of the 13 year.
I actually know what she'll like.
I got a bottle of that Wild Turkey, the 7th
Hey, Nash. Nash.
anniversary. Yeah.
So, you know how they were talking about the William LaRue Weller?
Yeah.
And you were like, I'll take that?
Yeah, and I said, he snoozes, you loses.
Just so you
What's
know,
up, boys?
if we get it, you can have it. Okay?
Really? Are you serious?
If you want it, you can have it.
Yes. I'll give 600 for it.
Yeah, that's high on my price.
Oh my God. If so,
You'll
then
let
I'll send you a couple of 2-ounce samples of this bottle that I got open because I've got about a third of the bottle left, and that's it.
there's that, and then there's this. I want you to tell me
And
of the three.
and I'll throw in a Van Winkle Special Reserve 12-year 2-ounce sample.
You know I love you.
You know I love you too, brother.
Hey, John.
I love you too, bro. What's up, John?
I got the feeling that somehow today was like South Park at school.
Oh my gosh. He's smoking cigars.
Can I have a?
Can I
have that other pour? Or the
I hadn't even had a
Do you have the
chance
Glen
to get
over
off
there?
work
I'm
good
not done deciding.
here.
Oh, you're gonna.
Oh, Nash, I couldn't do a stogie, man. I was thinking about doing it for the after party, but all that wind and the rain is starting here already, man.
Oh man, it's been raining here all day.
So
Yeah, 50 to 60 mile an hour gusts here, they said.
I know which
The
one you're
wind
gonna
hasn't
like.
been bad, but
So do you know
rain-
the first
rain
one?
has been
So I gave you the Glen,
torrential,
then I gave you
off
one, and
on.
then I gave you the other.
Yeah.
Do you have them in
Put
order?
up my Christmas decorations.
What's up, John?
They'd be
I
in
mean,
the next county.
Walker.
Not much.
Did you like that podcast? Did
That
you?
was
Go
good,
ahead.
Man,
It
The
was a great
first one,
podcast.
hands down.
So okay, what's in second place?
Yeah, here you go,
uh,
Jeff.
what's up, brother?
The third one.
What up, fellas? How y'all doing?
Oh, there
Hey,
it is.
I
Matt.
brought
The
you
third
guys that want to come say hi to you guys.
I'm doing turkey.
The last place is the second one.
Okay,
I
so
bet you
Roxy, I just gave Roxy a blind tasting.
I've had about 6 pours of different. wild
Me
turkey
too.
taste.
We're lit. I'm not. I'm
Yeah.
not lib. I'm lit.
Yeah. I'm
Anyways,
lit.
anyways, so listen to this shit. So I gave her a blind, and I gave her a blind of Rare Breed, Russell's 13, Russell's 15. You want to know how she picked
Like
it?
best.
She
The
went,
13.
nope. She went Rare Breed, 13, 15, and I gave her. And I
knew
gave
she
her
wouldn't
in,
like that
I
15.
gave her in the order of Rare Breed 15, 13.
I knew she wouldn't like that 15.
I
because
don't,
too
it's
oaky.
smoky and tastes like a
It's
cigar.
too oaky?
It's too smoky.
Yeah, it's too
Yeah,
much
it's
cigar,
absolutely
not
oaky.
oak. There's not
No,
enough.
too much cigar.
Yeah, we
smoke.
rated a 14 out of
Roxy,
18.
Roxy, that's exactly what I was
If you-
saying on my
So-
notes when I was talking about it.
So
It had that cigar box
Yes.
taste to it, and it's finished with a cigar
Yeah,
box.
yeah, that's.
is that Jimmy?
That's good batch, yeah.
That's Jimmy.
Until it's.
Woo!
What's up?
And
What's up,
Steve,
brother?
Steve and Jimmy.
What's up? Yes, what's up, fellas?
Happy Turkey
Good
Day,
day,
bro.
Yeah, what's up?
Cheers.
Turkey Day, y'all.
Here you go.
Okay,
So,
thanks back for
They
the Rare
wanted to
Breed.
come on and they were going to talk to you about our what we have going on here after your light goes off, so that way we don't have a million people coming up here.
What?
Wow. I like the.
15,
I
13.
want to taste that Wild Turkey 12 year.
I know. Ooh, I bet a lot of people do,
We
but
got Tracy?
we just
Let's
we
see.
literally just finished it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, there, John's got to bring his. There you go.
It must be that
Wow,
good.
you
Yeah, it's it, John.
you
That's like that.
destabilized the crap. I'm out of it. You want to turn it towards
You're in it.
Okay. All right. So
Mm.
Roxy's gonna look like Tracy. Tracy's coming in.
Tracy's coming in. Okay.
Yep.
Wow, what a spread.
Yeah, it's a good looking bar right there.
Hell yeah, it is.
Here we go.
We do stuff
Hey
down here in
Tracy.
Cleveland.
Tracy's here, Rach.
Who's Tracy?
Yep.
She's
So,
she
John, you
she
know,
jumps
you were
in too.
here
Look,
doing
she's
walking
got her
maybe
bourbon
sleeping right
collection
back
back there.
Oh,
Yeah.
hello.
Roxy's off camera because
How are you,
Don't let
Tracy?
people talking female here.
Roxy's down there somewhere. Where's she at?
she's here, but she's off camera because she didn't do all her makeup. She's been taking care of the
I'm
granddaughter.
also in my pajamas.
Yeah. She's
So
her
why is
pajamas.
that?
You want to know what her pajamas are? It's a water. Her pajamas is a
God.
Watershed Distillery sweatshirt.
Hey, see,
I mean, I got 15 of those. if you
Sherry
wanna put those
goes
down
to work in her pajamas on Sunday. On Sundays at her work. they have
I was
pajama
gonna go.
Sundays.
I was gonna get in my pajamas and go catch a flight.
To Cleveland?
You look
Really
like
an hour
every
away.
millennial that goes out today.
Don't forget to wear your slippers.
Yeah.
That's a good one, right there. Oh,
Check that out.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Oh, wow.
like
Got
that
some blonde
tasting
on the
glass.
side.
Look at that tasting
I like
glass,
that.
Roxy.
Ooh,
That is
nice.
awesome.
Roxy, you need one of those.
That looks
Yeah, that's
holiday.
fancy.
And
I like
Hey,
it.
Oh, this
Jeff,
is
step
every
up
day.
your Christmas gift game. She needs one of those, bro. I don't know what to say.
What happened?
what are you sipping on, Tracy?
Did you say
Rox-
something? What?
This is,
I did.
This is
Tracy, can
actually-
you hold your glass up? Cause Jeff can't see it.
Okay.
He needs one of
I
those.
was in Iceland 2 weeks ago,
Okay.
and this is actually Flocky from Einberg Distillery. And it is a 4-year-old, 3-year in American charred oak, and 3 months in birch.
Wow.
Not sure a lot of folk would like it because it is kind of mossy. But I did have, when we were there, we did have one that was, and I did talk about this with Randy and Walker, that was smoked with sheep dung.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's wait. Don't say no. That's peat. That is
We
just
had that 'cause
no.
Steve was
That
just
is
there.
peat. That's initially. It's not sheep's
No.
dung. It's peat. Peat is sheep
No, it's
shit.
different. Sheep dung.
No,
It's
it's
sheep dung. It
peat.
tastes like shit.
100% it's
Your
peat.
first order when you come to my bar will be sheep's dung. Period.
There you go.
Hey.
Walker, you don't have to, but Jeff, he does.
No, I'm gonna do that with scorpions with sheep's dung.
Me and you, I have a live setup for us, our makers tasting, for me and you to split a scorpion down the middle and eat it live on TV. We're doing it.
I will do it if you sell 25. If at the tasting we sell 5 bottles of Private Select, I'll eat the scorpion with you.
The
You
whole
have them
scorpion.
there
Wow.
in person.
What?
That's out of
That's the
control
deal,
right
maker.
there.
You have to have the bottles in hand to give the people.
Of course.
And that's fine. I'll do it.
They're coming. Seriously, they told me that they're ready to ship, and I just need a signature, and then they're gonna send it, and then it's gotta come. We'll do
Oh,
it.
yeah,
You
we
gotta do a
just talked about
special
that
makers
pre-podcast.
tasting with me.
You know what's crazy? So Nash is gonna buy all his bottles while he's here in Cleveland. I'm gonna buy mine. Jimmy's getting his. Steve's getting his. You got Walker
Yeah.
buying his. I guarantee I have 20 other people coming to our tasting that's fully catered. And
Are we?
everything's
We're
done.
talking about
I
that
will sell
tasting.
all these.
I don't know if I have it by then.
We'll be with
Hey, you
I
might,
might.
yeah, you might as well bring that scorpion because he's gonna eat.
We are eating this live. Hey Jeff, you're gonna eat your words when we do this, and it's gonna be live.
Yeah.
It's gonna be
Why would I eat my words? I will eat the
Yeah,
scorpion if
yeah.
you eat. I will.
No.
That's fine.
You said.
Hey,
25
Nash,
bottles, you would eat
Nash,
the scorpion.
Nash.
Yeah.
Yes. Hey Nash, actually, you are 100% correct. I'll be the voice of it. We'll just
No,
split that. And Jeff
no,
will-
Matt,
Hey,
Matt, I'm taking you up on what you threw out there.
Ever.
I'm taking
Okay, hey,
You're eating half.
all right,
You
now that you've taken him up on that, I'm gonna put in the first
in
order
the-
for
it's in the
a case
tequila.
of bottles,
It's
6
okay.
bottles,
It's-
because
yeah,
I know
it's
I
not a
can sell
problem.
them back here.
Why?
Jeff, you know
Why?
what's gonna
Why?
happen.
Because I wanna see you eat the scorpion.
Oh, by the way, hey Jeff, I invited 32 members of the Brunswick Barrel Jockeys down here to buy bottles too. So we're gonna have a bunch of fun with it.
If I have the bottles, I'll have them. If not, I'll sell vouchers.
What do you
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah,
That's not what I said. I said you gotta bring bottles. That was the
I
deal.
will bring bottles if I have them, but I gotta have them.
you'll have
You
the
know,
bottles.
you gotta-
And
I need that bottle
I
and-
heard
and
you
waffles.
talking already. You'll have the bottles.
I was trying to delay it.
No, he'll have the bottles.
Hey, Nash, if
I already know the delivery date.
hey, Nash,
Yeah.
the only way I'm gonna have the bottles if you pitch in.
Wait, we're gonna talk offline about this.
Are you gonna pitch in,
How much more you
Rocker?
want me to pitch in?
'Cause-
I'm already
'cause-
buying 2 cases to eat-
Oh,
make
wait a
you
minute.
eat the
Here's the
scorpion.
There you go. Roxy will call you tomorrow.
I want you to cut a short on the end of this right here, where I say everyone that's trying to buy one of the Maker's Mark barrels, you need to buy it while Jeff is in Cleveland with me. I will give you the dates. I will do a live on it. It'll be super fun. And I have
Absolutely.
2 whole days
What
of
you
crazy events
guys
coming
all
up
do-
here in December.
I'll eat the scorpion
What
if he
y'all
sells
don't
25
realize is
bottles.
that Mrs. time,
25, I thought it was 20.
will not allow Jeff to eat a scorpion.
Roxy just nixed it. Wow.
Even if it's dipped in chocolate, come on, man.
I love
It's
you.
not happening.
Did you? Hey, we'll just have hot chocolate dipping sauce right there.
It's not happening.
I'd eat the whole
Wait a
thing if
minute,
you
that's
dipped it in
not
chocolate.
happening.
Scorpion and stuff. You just have to eat
No,
the scorpion.
We'll have tequila dipping sauce.
Hell yeah.
Donna might be able to make us something like that. I can ask her.
Hell
You
yeah.
can all fantasize about it, but
I'll have bourbon balls.
it will never come into fruition.
Bourbon balls are
Please
going to
bring the white
happen.
ones.
What?
Make sure you have a lot of the white ones. The white ones are my favorite ones.
He likes
I'm
white
gonna
chocolate
get
just
bourbon,
like
I
me.
don't
Yeah,
have any balls.
CT disagrees. So you buy a box and CT buys a box and he'll give you the white ones and you give him the chocolate ones.
I'm
Yeah, that's fine.
scorpion.
You know,
That's
now,
that's the same way Sherry is. She likes the white chocolate balls
really?
instead of the chocolate.
Me too.
Sherry likes white
I don't
chocolate
eat
balls,
chocolate.
Nash.
I can eat bricks.
Yeah, I do it for her every Christmas.
Please explain yourself.
Dude, I'm talking about, guy right
I'm
there.
talking about
That's a nice
just bourbon balls.
Right now.
How you
he's
doing,
not
YouTube and
scorpion.
Facebook? We're just
no,
going off the
I
track.
take that back. I'm talking about Roxy's.
What?
He just keeps shoveling a deeper hole.
The hole gets
derailed.
The
deeper.
hole keeps getting deeper.
I'm talking about this guy.
They're talking about the confectionery.
All right.
Cheers to you, Dad. Cheers to you, Dad.
So the tasting's on Thursday, right, Matt?
Yes.
Yes, I got all beer stuff on Wednesday, all whiskey stuff on Thursday.
What time does it start on Thursday?
Well, I have are we live right now? Because then you're gonna have people coming here, and then I
Yeah,
don't
you're
have
gonna
an
have to
okay
cut
for
this.
a lot of people.
Yeah, we're live.
We're live.
If you guys want to talk about, you guys are all with us, so that's fine. We're not on a live right now. I'll tell you what, we'll probably have a live at each event that we're at and doing stuff for the 10th, 11th, and 12th coming up to the Christmas party. Everyone is more than, you guys can all come to the Christmas party on Friday. I only have
Yes.
so many spots for the stuff I'm putting together on Thursday and Wednesday. So all my spots are pretty much filled for my stuff, but Jeff, your Christmas party, I mean, this is a top spot for you to throw that in there right now.
Yeah, the Christmas
Yeah,
party's
I
happening.
don't have unlimited.
It'll be live at Gervasi, starting at 7 p.m.
Yep.
at Gervasi Vineyards and Winery on
Yeah.
Friday, December 12th,
Yep.
for the Scotchy Bourbon Boys annual Christmas party. And Bourbon Claus will be making an appearance with gifts to give away.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Roxy is figured out how to do it, and it's going to be bourbon bingo. And when you get the bourbon bingo, you do the things and you complete the card, that's when you win a prize.
Oh, there you go.
And so we will be playing at our Christmas party bourbon bingo.
Why has no one told me about this?
It
We
just
just made it up.
You just did.
Because I just came up with it while we were out.
there'll be special bottles, special giveaways, there'll be Scotchy Bourbon
So
Boys
all white chocolate
t-shirts.
gifts to the bourbon balls?
Yeah, there could be bourbon balls for
Yeah, we're
gifts.
bringing bourbon balls.
Yeah.
I'm excited for that.
So, Walker, did you hear about the bourbon bingo?
No.
They were playing bourbon bingo at the Christmas party. Everybody gets a bingo card, and when you go do the things, you'll get a marker and get it stamped.
Wow.
This is like the Kentucky Bourbon Festival. Me and Walker will be on a team doing stuff, and we'll have them filled out within 5 minutes, and everyone has to be searching for
Nope, you won't have it filled out in 5 minutes. They're not easy.
I promise you won't.
I guess Randy Ford might
Okay.
because he's rich.
Oh, you gotta buy stuff.
No, you got to do stuff.
Oh, I'm down with doing stuff. I just can't buy
buy
stuff.
There's
Hell
yeah, but some of the stuff you have to
Burglary
do.
clauses of
For
lure,
instance,
not a sayer.
one of
No,
them.
you don't give any of it away.
All right.
Oh, surprise.
So she won't let me give
No,
anything
no,
away.
you can't give it away.
So what did you think, Tracy, about Gregg Snyder tonight with our Thanksgiving podcast?
Well, it's my first Thanksgiving podcast, and I thought it was really good. I learned a lot. Now, I got a little secret here, and that is
Ooh.
I haven't had wild turkey since I was 15 years old. I am that person where we've all done it, where we've overindulged maybe when we were 15, 16 years old, and I have not gotten over it. When I think of wild turkey, I kind of cringe because of that past that I've had.
Uh-huh. Yep.
Now that I've listened to this today and met informally the part of the distillery itself and the Jimmy Russell experience, now I'm kind of wanting to try it, but I will admit I'm more inclined to try the Russell Reserve
Yeah.
than I am the wild turkey.
Yes.
But again, back in the day, and you're absolutely right, Tiny. I mean, so I'm thinking, what year would that have been? 1981 was when I had wild turkey, and we overindulged, and I've never been the same.
Well, 1982, I
82,
turned 18, which in Wisconsin was the drinking age. And
yes, it was.
And I went to a place called it was the bar across the street that eventually became the Wendy's restaurant. It was called the Newsstand, or a lot of the professors went to this bar. Okay, so it was right across the street from I was in the art program, so right across the street from the area where all my classes were.
What school?
What? UW Milwaukee.
Okay.
So I went there on my 18th. So I started college at 17. My birthday is September 21st. The first day was September 4th. So I was drinking on a fake driver's license, which was given out between 16 and 18, which was called the temporary one.
Yes.
So and my dad was a commercial artist, so I was able to doctor that license so that I was able to drink at 16. So anyways, but that night of my 18th birthday, when I became actually legal, and I had to basically figure out how to change my doctor. I kept it doctored for that day that I was older, but at the same time, it was Wild Turkey 101, and it was 14 shots. 14 people just kept buying me Wild Turkey 101, Wild Turkey 101.
Yeah.
But I had already had that horrible experience with Southern Comfort. So Southern Comfort, I still to this day cannot even smell, or I see it on the shelf, when I'm looking for whiskey, and I'm like, okay, I know what you're talking about.
That's how I am.
Yeah.
Tiny, that's how I am with
But Wild Turkey 101, I was already cool with. I knew I was going to go back. I had a thing and whatever. It was just the experience wasn't new. I knew what was going to happen, and it whatever. So that's the first experience with Wild Turkey I had. But I understand
yours is Southern Comfort.
Oh, yeah.
Mine is Wild Turkey. Let's go around the room and ask everybody what was their now become a demon.
What was yours?
If we call it that. Anybody else?
Old number 7.
What? Jack Daniels?
Yeah. You know that. You know this. I've told you this.
Anybody else?
Mine is vodka. Vodka puts me on the floor, and I don't know where I'm at. So like I can't do vodkas. But there's not really a whiskey that can put me there.
So you're right there with Fred Minnick. Vodka sucks.
Because
I didn't say it.
back
it's
in high
I
school,
would have to
it-
agree
and all
with
that.
that.
Puts me into
on
places
that
where
one.
I
they
don't know
mix
where I'm at.
vodka in so many different things, and
I don't
oh my
agree with
God.
vodka.
I don't
Either
think-
that
I don't
or
think I have
190.
had a sip of
When they made the
vodka.
hunch punch. Oh my God, that was probably the worst. The 190, the Everclear 190, when they mixed it with in the hunch punch, Hawaiian punch, and Everclear.
You
oh
mean
my
the
God.
Wapatui? Where
Oh, yeah.
everybody just came and just poured it all in and we would all
Yeah,
drink it?
yeah.
Wapatui.
Yeah.
And
How about
friends, let's not forget Rumpleman's.
Ugh.
Oh my God. If you ever work in a bar, you like Rumpleman's, I guess. It's kind of what it is.
What
Don't
about
you see everybody go like this?
You saw me go like that.
Yeah.
I know.
John?
You know, Germany's really big on that brand, right? They do everything pepperminty. And I have a bottle from the Berlin Wall. It's like really, really cool.
Oh, that's cool.
Somewhere. Oh, there you go. So check this out. So Rumpleman's in Germany is this. It tastes like toothpaste. My buddy brought it straight from Germany. He brought this over. It came with 2 glasses. Because I feel like it has to.
Hey, let's
I don't know
go
what
get
it
down in
says.
Germany. I was born in Germany.
We're not saying
So when
anything
you come
bad.
here, this will be your first pour here. I know what Jeff's is. So like we already have our first 2 pours for you guys. Oh, by the way, Walker, I have something really cool for you. My buddy brought over this Maker's Mark little sampler thing. I don't remember what the hell he said it was, but I will call him and ask him what it was. That's our first Maker's pour when you get off the plane. So I have stuff for every one of you guys that comes down. Oh, by the way, John, I got something for you too.
Sounds
I
good,
have
dude.
some for all you fellas. I've been
I'm
working
bringing
stuff
stuff
out.
for you,
We're doing
bro.
stuff.
If I failed to say it before, I'm excited.
I'm beyond excited. Tracy, I am so sorry. Well, I want to get back on where you were at. I did not mean to cut you off there.
So you're gonna try Russell's, and then you can pretend that it's not wild turkey.
Exactly. It said Russell, doesn't say Wild Turkey. That's true.
So given what you know about me right now, what would you all recommend for me?
Rare breed.
Wild Turkey, 8-year 101. I would say
Russell's 13 and rare breed.
I would say Russell's 13.
And rare breed. Roxy
breed for
just
sure.
Roxy just blinded rare breed 13, 15 and the
Good call, Walker.
rare breed, and she picked rare breed first because it's just caramel. Rare breed is like caramel sauce that you can put on your ice cream. And then Russell's 13 is right there too. And then Russell's 15, if you like an oaky older bourbon, that's there too. But you gotta like oaky older bourbons with leather and smoke. You gotta like it. But there's people who love that. It's just if you love Scotch, that's a Scotch, man. That's if you would love that. It's a Scotch bourbon.
I think after I'm sitting here sipping on the 13, and I would recommend the Russell's 10-year. It's perfect across the board.
Nash, I agree with you. That is for a shelfer, for the money, you can't beat it, man. You just cannot.
Yeah.
The rare breed is
It's not oaky, it's real caramelly, buttery, vanilla, not too much burn, not too much hug, but yet the flavors stay there with you. So yeah, to me, I'd say Russell's 10.
Or just try some, if you can find like a Russell's,
Oh my God.
private selection or something, that would
Yeah, I
be
got
good,
this
too.
reserve private barrels, and it's so caramel.
I got
Russell's-
this
That's better than.
signed by
I still
Jimmy.
like the rare breed better.
Yeah.
We got really cool OHLQ ones that come down here to
But that's got more vanilla.
Yeah.
So I would say the
Yeah.
rare breed over the 10-year because Nash on the open, or let me rephrase,
I do like.
when I've had the 10-year at a bar because I've never bought a bottle, it's
Yeah.
been more bitter than the rare breed. And
I
that's
think
maybe
the
a little bit
10-year is
biased.
more. It's like a salty and sweet thing, and it's like a versus to me.
Caramel and
I'm
pretzel.
right off with it.
I've
So
had better experiences with the rare breed.
so Tracy,
Yes,
do you like vanilla or caramel better?
caramel.
Then you're gonna want to go with the rare breed.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
Russells
Yeah.
pulls. There's way more vanilla in the Russells, and then it's like vanilla pudding, and then but the rare breed is like
I agree.
caramel sauce.
It's like a vanilla pudding custard type. is the 10-year.
So rare breed was what got me one of the hooks that got me into bourbon. I mean, it was just like I had it, and it was the day. It had a lot to do with where I was, but I was on the rocks, and I just sipped it, and I was like, put it down, and I'm like, what did I just sip? Because I was just starting to get into bourbon, and it was just like, it's good.
That got him started, and then he's like a crack junkie. He went straight to Booker.
I was already on Booker's, but yeah.
He's got a Christmas tree.
Give me some rare breed.
And then he had to have barrel proof Booker's. Oh.
I think y'all are dead on point with the profile right there. Good calls. Good calls.
I mean,
These single
but you're
barrels, though, people tend to pick the caramel for the single barrels. So usually these Russell single barrels are about twice the price, but people tend to pick the caramel versions instead of the vanilla for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
You're not wrong. OHLQ does 10 of them every year, so.
Yeah, we get a bunch too, man. I got a CNE Camp Nelson Smooth, man, from the grocery store. This thing is the bomb right here, dude. 9-year, it's great.
Mhm.
Yeah. 8-year holiday,
It
2024.
says it on the bottle, Camp Nelson Smooth.
What's that, Nash?
I said it said on the bottle, Camp Nelson Smooth.
Oh, hell yeah, dude.
and if you
When you were
really
here, I should have gave you some, man. You would have flipped out. This stuff's pretty
if
good.
you
for
really
me,
want to get away completely
hey,
from
John.
this brand,
I
this
got the Camp
nobody
Nelson
knows.
B2.
Nobody knows that this is made. This
Yeah.
these two
I
right
got
here.
Camp Nelson B and F.
We're poor in Ohio. We don't have those.
These two right here, these two, you don't even know they're wild turkey.
Oh my
Like-
God! The one that looks like he hadn't opened, the double B apple.
Yeah, that's.
That is just a caramel corn.
What do you mean? It's been open.
I said it doesn't look like it's been opened because he's only had a sip. But
I know those bottles.
I gave him his first bottle of the double WB Sapple. That stuff is like a caramel corn crunch in your mouth. I'm telling you, it is that good.
I just went around.
It's
Man,
good.
Nash, I'll have to text you later. Just if I got a bead on a beacon, you have to let me know what your max is on that bottle.
Okay.
So
Are you
Trace,
in the beacon?
Beacon.
A bead on a beacon.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm looking for the wild turkey beacon too.
I've had a sample of it. It's damn good.
look what I picked up this week.
Old man winner.
White bourbon ball bottle. What the hell is that?
Old Man Winter.
Old
Man
That's
Man
from
winner.
Preservation.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's good
Preservation.
stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
And
I've
then
got all over the place in
Yeah,
Ohio. Ohio has
Marcy.
that on the shelf. I could
Oh,
take it
Walker's
to
got one, man.
yep.
It's a good bottle.
Hey, but they don't have this one.
Keep your
Oh,
hands on,
man.
Nash.
So my
He's going to
friend,
the very, very back. You know it's something special.
Yeah,
Oh.
it's the first batch of Old
Wow,
Man Winter.
look at
Check
that.
out the bottle on that.
That's different than the other ones, yeah.
Yeah,
There may be some of
one
those
is
in it.
one bottle is not like the others, and that's this one. This is the very first batch of Old Man Winter. 118.7 proof.
Oh, man.
That's the
That's
bottle
awesome.
of man right there.
Yeah,
That's
that's the
Just
original.
broke you out with LC, man. What are you breaking out next? What do you got?
so 109.8 proof is this one.
That's why I said it ain't like mine.
It's better.
Hey,
We
but
don't have anything to compare to that. We
just-
put
just to
bottles
let
in
y'all
front of us, so
know-
that's fancy.
that sample, a 2-ounce sample of that bottle, is included in 12 days of Scotchy Bourbon Boys giveaway.
Yeah, we're getting ready. On next Tuesday, we're gonna
I'm so
launch
excited
that.
for this.
We're gonna launch
We're
that.
gonna launch it next Tuesday.
As far
and-
as telling everybody what it is, and then when Nash comes up on the 11th, which will be
Yeah.
Thursday the 11th, is when it starts, and
When it starts.
and he will highlight a bottle.
one bottle I got 12 samples to give away. I've got 6 of Christmas past and I got 6 of Christmas present. Well, you can enter every day for each sample.
Right.
But
You gotta do a thing. We're sending
you
on
gotta-
you a scavenger hunt.
Yeah, you gotta do whatever it says to be entered into the giveaway for that day. Then everybody that qualifies and wins the 12 winners that win the 12 samples, they will be entered for the final drawing of one Scotchy Bourbon Boys Maker's Mark, a pick in the dark
Private
bourbon
flag.
bottle. The
So-
whole bottle.
I got
So,
this. I am still gonna get this.
so each day of the
Hey,
12 days, there'll be
John,
something to do.
You can enter every day.
And then on the podcast of the 23rd, he's
So you
going
can
to
get entered 12 times.
randomize all the 12 winners. Then he's going to take the 12 winners that get the samples and he's going to put them in, and one person will win the bottle. And that's
Yep.
so it's going to be, he's going to have bottles of Christmas past, Christmas present, and Christmas future. The future is the private select, because hopefully by then we'll have it, but
Yeah.
maybe we won't. I don't know. They said it was ready. We're working on whatever. It's got to be shipped up here, and then it's got to be shipped to the warehouse, and then given to the agency, and then at that point, that's when we purchase it. That we're talking Walker offline, and then once we purchase it offline, we're going to then we'll have our release party.
I
And
can
then-
tell everybody now that 2 of the samples are from 2 1968 different J.W. Dant bottles. A 1971, I think 2 1971 Jim Beam bottles and a 1974 Jim Beam bottle.
It's a good thing I like to drink stuff that was done before I was born, so that works.
There you go.
I'm so
Hey,
excited.
I'm telling you, all these bottles are.
Oh, no, he didn't
crystal
just say
clear.
that.
Yeah, he did.
Oh, yeah, he
Oh, they are so good. I'll tell you what. And I gotta pick the 6th one from. I've got a couple more bottles over here that I think it might be this Ezra Brooks. That's like I believe it's a 68 or 69 Ezra Brooks that I'm gonna pour up.
What?
So
Just bring that up to bring that one up. I want to taste that one. Ezra Brooks from '68.
Yeah.
Wait, Jeff, you're not allowed to get in the drawing.
I don't want it in the drawing. I just want
I'm
straight up to
reluctant
drink it.
about opening this because it's one of my dad's. Actually, it's a 74.
Is that a dolphin? Is that a dolphin in your hand, or are you just glad to see me?
Right.
Yeah,
Nash, that thing better not take batteries. That's not funny.
look, it is a dolphin. But
Yes.
it's an Ambet Ezra Brooks from 1974.
Why is a dolphin? What is a dolphin? Oh,
Look.
Florida. It's from Florida.
Look.
Yeah.
Look at that tack strip, unopened,
Wow, that's cool, dude.
Wow.
and it's from Korea, Vietnam.
That's really sweet.
Wow.
I respect the hell out of you, Nash. Nash, you have this huge collection, but then you have all that shit from your dad's
Yeah.
collection, and it's like, how are you? I respect the hell out of you that you're not an alcoholic. I would be drinking the old stuff. That would be gone.
I've been reluctant about opening this
About
because my dad he spent 2 terms in Vietnam and he spent 1 in Korea. And
he didn't spend any in Florida.
Dude, that's okay, Nash, because I spent a tour in Korea and I'll drink it with you.
Hey, we should get together and play episodes of Flipper while we drink that, because that's right in the time period, right?
You were in Korea?
We'll watch an episode of Gilligan's Island and then Flipper.
Well, that does it. I can't put that sample up. I'm just gonna crack the bottle with Walker at Christmas.
Woo!
What are you
should do
doing
it
about?
I'm with Walker at Christmas. That's what I'm cheering about.
Matt, what
Hey,
time are
do
you,
it before
what
Jeff
time are you
gets
starting
here
on
when you get off the
Thursday, dude?
plane, Nash.
Do what?
Do it before Jeff gets here when you get off the plane. I got you. You're right down the street.
Hell yeah, brother. That's what I'm talking about.
Just so you know, you just blew it, Matt, because I'll be there at 7:30 in the morning knocking on your door.
Hey,
Who's gonna be waking up for
Roxy,
that?
how do you feel about that?
She's
Traveling
coming up
early in
too
the
because
morning?
she wants to drink from the dolphin.
Jeff, I don't think you want to see Sean at 7:30 in the morning. She's gonna come out there swinging in the driveway.
She never comes out. She will not come out. She'll stay. I'll just go in the basement.
Matt, what time are you starting on Thursday, man?
I know you got, hey, Matt, I know you got a shower down there and a bathroom. I'm cool.
No, I don't have a shower. I do have a bathroom.
You have a shower. Your son came down and showered.
No, he didn't. There's a half bathroom, bro. A sink and a toilet, bro.
Where
What are you
did
gonna
you-
wash in the?
Okay.
No. There's a shower upstairs.
I
No,
hey,
hear you down there.
hey, I know how to convert a toilet into a shower.
Oh.
It's a shitty job, but hey.
You're making fun of Nash. I don't do the thing, and you're picking on him. Like I'm saying,
Do we get a live on how to convert a toilet to a shower?
oh wait a minute, isn't that the video that you had to cut off because you poured stuff down a toilet, and now you're not allowed to do that no more? Don't think I don't watch all your stuff and know all this, bro.
Hey,
Like,
hey,
no,
Matt.
no.
Matt, I love you, brother, and I know you do.
I love you too, man. There is no shower in my basement, though. It is upstairs. Dude, we're gonna have a blast, man. I can't wait.
Well then, wait. I'll take
that
that back. I'll take that back. I'll wash some clothes and go to the bathroom.
All right, you can do that. There's a washer and a dryer right there. Walker and John will be sleeping back here, so if you want to wake them up, I don't care. Don't wake me up, but don't make sure the dogs don't attack.
Of course I'm
As long as
dragging.
there's a toilet
Hey,
down there,
hey, hey,
I'm good.
Matt, do you think that I'm going to be present without you? You're getting up with me.
Steve,
I am not
Okay,
getting up.
women.
Dude, you're not waking. You know what happened the second day at Kentucky Bourbon Festival? I don't think y'all do this. Steve woke me up at like 5, 6 in the morning to go to Maker's Mark. And we met the Whiskey Weatherman, the online guy. We did the stuff. And I'm like, I was so not happy. And he came by. No, it's not good. Look, 9 o'clock. What? Mike that was on the bus. He was there too. Well, that's cool because they're early people. They didn't drink like me and Walker drank. Look, he didn't have Walker on the side of him at the bus. So you don't understand how stuff works. That's what happened. It is what it is. So look.
I know how stuff works with Matt. I do
fell
understand
asleep in the
that.
gas station. Dude, we were in the gas station parking lot. I fell asleep in Steve's truck. I was like, I gotta give me 2 hours. Like, I'll be fine. I did. I slept for 2 hours in the gas station parking lot because I was like, I can't do this, bro. Like, it's too
But
early.
before the bus tour or the next day?
That was the next day. Look, man, I was good for the bus tour. I was fine.
How the hell?
Like I said, I put
Hey,
pizza in the back
Walker,
of the seat.
Walker, why was Randy late for the bus tour? Or the pick. Why was he late coming to Makers?
Because he stayed outside drinking outside of our hotel room the night before.
And you went to bed?
Oh my God, that was a me.
That's right.
He was
and
around.
I told him not to do that.
You told him not to?
I told him not to do that.
Well,
Everybody
everybody
listen,
knew
man.
that choice on his own.
Yeah, he was definitely in the zone. But let's just be honest. Priorities. Priorities, guys. Seriously.
Well, good thing we didn't let him have his mendiant,
Dude, he slept on the
staves.
couch for like 2 hours, and then we told him to go home after that. I was like, yo, you should probably go back. Like, somebody's looking for you. And then he did at a point. We let him sleep for a while, though.
Yeah, but you guys
And I had
remember
a sandwich in my hand, and I was sitting at your table before you even came out the house. I was good.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh no, Walker's heading to the vault.
Hey, just so you know, Walker was good because he wanted to be on the private select.
Yeah. And,
Yeah.
and honestly, like if I live to be 100, being able to do that versus not being able to do that, Tiny, thank you again forever, because that was amazing. And, you know, that was my priority. Bottom line, that was my priority. So,
Well,
I see Steve shaking his head, talking about, yeah.
hey, Steve. Hey,
He's
Steve,
like,
let's just talk to Steve.
Steve's like,
Steve,
that's just a normal weekend in his life, all right?
Steve, did you enjoy that private select?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's just
I was
like
just happy I put down numbers and it ended up being exactly what you guys picked. It changed a little bit.
so
called the Steve
just so you know, Steve, you basically with when I met you and now that all the stuff with Matt and then coming down on the Crystal Glencairn tasting and everything, it's just like you Matt fits in, but he also fits into Cleveland on the Rocks, but there's an aspect of youth to the whole thing, okay? That where he's younger, he's more of a partier, he's learning everything. But Steve, you basically are like if there was if the Scotchy Bourbon Boys had a strip, a plug strip, and you needed to plug the perfect strip in, the plug into the strip, you fit the strip like unbelievable. And thank you, Matt, for bringing Steve into that.
I got a picture of Steve plugging into the strip.
Please post that. Post that on your page. Post it.
At Whiskey Peak Distillery.
But Steve, I mean, the Christmas party last year, awesome. Everything that then the bus trip, man, you refined it. I swear to God, you're the cookies that you're if
I love you, brother.
if the Scotchy Bourbon Boys had to put cookies out for Santa Claus, we'd put Steve on the plate.
We're all gonna see that. We need to see those pictures when you get in there, Nash. When you fly in, I need to see all those pictures, and I need to see what's going on. I don't remember much.
You never saw it? Oh, okay.
So
Hey,
Tracy, next year you gotta come.
either.
You gotta come down to the Kentucky Bourbon Festival next year.
I didn't remember it until I saw the pictures, and I was like, oh my God. He sent them to me like a couple weeks later. He's like, because he was like, he texted me. He's like, hey, what you doing? I was like, who's this? And then he sent me that picture. Oh my God.
all I
That
know
sounds
is
like Steve.
Yeah, because he's got pictures of me at Whiskey Thief and a certain little stuffed sheep.
that was a go. Oh my God. All I know is that my bourbon festival was better because Steve was there, because Matt was there, Steve was there. We went around together and we experienced some things that I would not have gotten to do. And honestly, getting to take things back, some of the things that are back there with Matt right this second, wouldn't be possible without Steve. So thank you, Steve.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Except
Steve
there's
is
also
the reason that I made it down there, so all you guys know. If Steve didn't drive me down there, I can't drive and do stuff. I can go and be awesome at places, but I can't go there unless Steve actually brings me there.
Hell
Steve
yeah.
got me there, and we did this.
So
And then
Steve's gonna be there for the 11th, 12th, and 13th.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
You're gonna make it to all of them. It's the 9th,
11 and 12 should be good.
The 11th,
11th and 12th are good. So
you're not
we made
coming
this
to.
out on the beer one, but actually you're not gonna be down for that either. Walker, I have something super cool set up for us.
Yeah.
I'll let you know when we're not live because I don't want to have a whole.
So
bunch
is
of people
the
know where we're
13th?
gonna be at.
So is the 13th gonna happen in Kentucky?
Wait, what's the 13th?
The day after.
Yeah, Saturday the 13th we go to Kentucky.
Yeah,
No.
Saturday.
I have a wedding. I have to get up in the morning very early after your Christmas party and go to a wedding.
Okay,
It's
but
gonna be like a
Steve,
takeover.
do you have to go to the wedding?
He can.
If you go to it, that's good, as long as you're not in it, who cares?
Steve,
right?
you
I
should
mean-
come to Kentucky.
Yeah, I was about to say, we can stop by the wedding too.
Make a speech. Like, I could make a speech every day. Like,
I will tell you that if
Yeah.
Walker drives you to Kentucky, I'll drive you back.
Where are we going?
Kentucky.
Baker's Mark.
They're gonna make her, Mark?
Well, I
Oh,
gotta
good
pick.
body.
I got me and Roxy at 2:30 on Saturday have the golden ticket tour. But Walker and Nash and Sherry are coming down and just taking the tour. We might book the nighttime tour because it's Christmas, because they do that special Christmas Carol tasting thing. But
That
then,
sounds cool.
yeah.
I'll have to check my schedule.
Hey Walker, where are you staying that night?
Oh, goodness. I was going to stay in Elizabethtown, but I don't know yet.
Okay.
I did get my leave approved, though, so I'm approved to go.
Because I know
Awesome.
that Nash and Sherry and me and Roxy are staying at the Trail Hotel.
Yeah,
But-
we're staying at the trail.
Well, then I guess that's my destination unless they don't have any rooms left, in which case I'm going to stay across the street in the No-Tell Motel. Right across the street.
Yeah,
the
Steve-
No-Till Motel.
Steve will stay at the
Block
Notel
up the
Motel with
livestock.
you.
He's used to that. He drives around with me all the time.
Hey, Steve,
Fucking weird. Yo, who's that name?
Walker's booking the No-Till Motel for y'all.
I'm watching Hotel.
One or two beds.
It's not available.
He needs 2 queens, Walker. He needs 2 queens at the Notel Motel.
Yeah. Hey, my brothers and sister, I gotta get out of here.
Yeah, we gotta go too.
Yeah,
I gotta load this stuff and it's already 11:11.
I know it. Oh,
I gotta be at
11:11.
the airport in
That's a lucky number.
about 5 hours.
Do you want me to give it to you, Walker?
Happy
Sure.
Thanksgiving to everybody.
All right,
Happy
everybody on
Thanksgiving,
Facebook.
All right, Tracy.
All right.
You too, Roxy.
We'll jump off.
Thanksgiving.
Nice to meet you. Hey, Jeff, make sure you stay on for a second.
All right, I'm gonna stop Facebook and I'm
Once you're
gonna
live,
stop
all
All right,
YouTube.
John,
Live off.
Matt, Steve, Walker.
Take care, everybody.
All right.
All
Love
right,
you guys.
night, good night, Nash.
Happy
See you
Thanksgiving.
in the See you in 2 weeks.
Got this little guy that I've